What's up, everybody? Welcome to In Love with Horror. My name is AJ.
I'm Christy.
And y'all, welcome to our CinemaCon horror films recap. So, of course, for y'all that don't know, CinemaCon is a week-long Las Vegas convention. It's mainly targeted at professionals that are in the movie industry, like especially theater owners. Like, it revolves around the movie industry in that kind of way. But typically, all the major studios show up and do presentations or panels, and they talk about their upcoming slate of films. So it's a great way for us movie fans
Get excited.
to get excited, get a lot of information, get a lot of details. They show a lot of exclusive stuff at CinemaCon.
It's not open to the public, so everything we get is like snippets.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not like a public convention that's targeted at fans coming to hang out and cosplay and stuff like that. All right, so we got some family in the building. What's up to Michael? What's up to Taymon? Welcome to the stream. But yeah, so over here in Love with Horror, of course, we talk about horror films. So we wanted to kind of give y'all a nice roundup of news and announcements for all the horror films that was at CinemaCon. And the way we're going to structure this is just go panel by panel. I know Sony was up first during the week, so we'll walk through each major studios panel, and they talk about horror films, some horror movie news. We're going to talk about it on this, y'all. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. If you're listening to the replay or if you're listening to the podcast over on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, what's up to y'all on the replay? We appreciate y'all showing us love and support after the fact. But we are live on YouTube. So if you're listening on podcast, you want to catch these live streams, make sure you go over to YouTube, be subscribed to us on that platform. But without further ado, you want to add anything else, Ben?
No.
All right, cool. Let's go ahead and jump into it, y'all. Starting out again with Sony. So Sony talked about a lot of their upcoming projects, like the films that are coming out within the next few months, actually, such as Until Dawn. That was one. Now, did they show anything new with Until Dawn? Or was there any like discussions or anything with that?
It was just like, oh, this movie's coming out.
That was just kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
Especially because that's one that's coming out in the next few weeks.
That actually happened
April
a lot
25th.
of times, like with stuff that you think that they would talk about, but they didn't actually talk about it. And Until Dawn was one of those.
Yeah, and also almost makes me wonder, like, does that mean that it's not, like, they don't have faith that it's gonna hit? You know what I'm saying? Or what does that mean exactly?
Trailer is good though, so
I love the trailer. Actually,
I'm actually anticipating that to do well. So.
Yeah, every time we go to the theater and we see that trailer pop up as one of the previews, like every time I see it, even though it's the same trailer, like I get more and more excited for it because I'm like, damn, this, like, one, it actually looks like scary, and two, like I feel like we're gonna get a lot of creative kills, and it's gonna go. I feel like the trailer already shows a lot, but I feel like it also is holding some stuff back as well.
We could put Taymon's comment up.
And Taymon in the comments said, "I'm here to provide info on movies."
We don't want your info, Taymon. You be telling us too much.
Oh, right, yeah. Taymon, yeah. Be careful with the spoilers from him, man. He got all the spoilers.
Hey,
details.
Paul
Draws in the chat. What's going on? But yeah, so they talked about upcoming projects like Until Dawn. Of course, they talked a lot about 28
Mike
years.
Said block him.
Oh, yeah, we'll have that block ready. He starts going in that spoiler territory. But they talked about Until Dawn. 28 years later, they talked a lot about. And of course, they talked about I Know What You Did Last Summer. So let's dive into it a little bit. So first, they talked about 28 years later and the idea of it being a trilogy, right? Which is something that I don't know if that was announced before, but at least I didn't remember it. You know what I'm saying? So when it showed up. And when they started talking about the sequel, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that like it's already a plan, like franchise in that sort of manner, where it's a new trilogy essentially.
Yeah.
But at the Sony panel at CinemaCon, one, they mentioned that the first trailer that came out for this film, it was the third most watched horror trailer ever. With 60.2 million views in its first 24 hours.
Crazy.
Which prompted Sony to re-release the original 2002 film on digital on December 18th for purchase and retail, which I feel like was a big moment because I didn't realize before that, like, you couldn't find that film
anywhere.
Really anywhere unless you had it on physical somewhere. Just jumping over to the chat real quick. Timon said, "Until Dawn, Groundhog's Day meets a slasher."
Yeah,
it kind of is that way.
It is basically.
That's the perfect setup to go crazy with the kills.
Yeah.
So that's all they gotta do is execute on those kills.
Mm-hmm.
But they also mentioned for this franchise that the third film in the franchise is not yet financed.
Right.
So they got 28 years later, and then they started to talk about the sequel to it 28 years later, The Bone Temple.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But the third film hasn't found any financing yet.
No. And Danny Boyle was on the stage and he was like, "So Sony, y'all gonna pay us for this movie or what?"
And
but Sony, I feel like it's probably like gonna be a case of we'll see how this first one do, and then we'll talk about the third
Sony
one.
Like, look, now you ain't put the movie out,
right?
It hasn't hit the mainstream audience. We don't know what that reception is gonna be like yet. So they like, look, we gonna see what you do.
Yeah,
you talking on that big game. We gonna see.
Yeah.
But then they showed a new trailer for the film that showcased more of the story that is set in a village on a protected island when they are fighting off the infected. Which I feel like in an apocalypse situation, especially with zombies, I feel like islands is where you're gonna want to go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because zombies can't swim. But you know what I wonder though? I don't know if any movies ever covered this. At least I can't remember. But like, if they can't swim, they can't die. So if they get to the bottom of the ocean,
they just
gonna walk it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But it makes sense to go to the islands, just like in A Quiet Place too. But jump into
I haven't seen that.
What are you talking about?
Have I seen that?
Oh yeah,
no, I haven't seen
That's not a spoiler though. It's in the trailer. It's not a spoiler. But now jumping to talking about the sequel film, which is 28 years later, The Bone Temple, which is directed by Nia DaCosta. So she was actually present talking about this film, and they showcased an early look at Ray Fiennes and she was quoted saying, "You've never seen him like this." And she also stated that Danny Boyle allowed her creative control, and she said, and quote, "She let her freak flag fly."
Yeah. Interesting.
Right.
Well, I think she's a great director, so I'm excited to see what she does with that. And she didn't write it. Alice Garland wrote both the first one and the second one in the trilogy.
Yeah.
So she just got the direct. So I'm excited to see what she does with it.
Yeah, I'm excited too. Her last directorial film was the Candyman film? Or did she direct some after that?
I don't think so. I think that was the last thing she
did. Yeah. And I actually like that Candyman film too. So
yeah,
I'm excited to see what she does with it. It's coming out January 16th, 2026.
Right. Well, that's right behind basically,
it really is. It's like a 6 month, 6-7 month wait. That is not bad at all. But it seemed like people were excited for what they saw, what they heard. It's crazy to think that, this film franchise is, got so reinvigorated that they're dropping 2 films within the span of a year. And depending on how good, these 2 films do, we could even get a third film potentially. So y'all let us know how excited you are for this 28 years later new trilogy. Michael in the chat said, "Oh, I'm excited for this 28 years later trilogy. Been waiting." Oh yeah, I think a lot of people are hyped for this. And them 28 whatever zombies, man, them things is on a different level. Different level. Now let's go ahead and jump to the next film they talked about, which is Resident Evil. So for those that don't know, they're rebooting this film, the film version of the franchise, and it's coming from Zach Kreger. And he's Barbarian. Yep, that's what it was. So Zach Kreger, of course, did the Barbarian film. You haven't seen it yet, so we won't really go into spoiler territory. But it was a well-crafted film. But I will say, for me personally,
you didn't like it, or you didn't like the outcome.
The scare factor went away once you realized what was going on. But I'll tell you that the part of the film before you realize what was happening, that's one of the scariest films ever. Like, there's so much tension, there's so much like creepiness.
Yeah.
It just gets under your skin, and then once you figure out what's going on, I don't know. It almost feels more like this. It's not comedy, but it feels that way.
Oh, okay.
Just with some of the crazy shit that's going on. But anyway, Zach Kreger is bringing us this new Resident Evil. And some information they provided on that was that nothing has been shot yet, but Zach Kreger is promising that it will be unlike the previous films in that it will maintain the spirit of the games. following one central protagonist from point A to point B as they descend deeper into hell, which is super dope. And I feel like I saw some other quotes that of him outside of CinemaCon talking about this film, talking about the importance of how you feel in the game. Like, I think he was even quoted saying like, that moment in Resident Evil where like, you only got a few bullets left and like you're about to walk into like this area that's going to have like something crazy in the dark corners of the room.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I have fun with the Mia Jovovich. How many films? It was like 6.
It was a lot of them.
6, 7 films that she did for Resident Evil. I think those movies are fun. Yeah. They obviously lost a lot of the horror element as they went on. They became more of this like action horror type of movie.
Yeah.
But I still have fun with it. But I'm excited to see them make something more true to what Resident Evil is in the games. At least certain Resident Evils, because they did go the action route. Like, so if you're a fan of Resident Evil, Resident Evil 6, even Resident Evil 5 was more on, action horror mode. You know what I'm saying?
Was it horror or just action?
It was it was mostly action, but it was in that like wheelhouse.
Yeah.
But like obviously 4, Resident Evil 4 and 4, that's all scary, and of course 7 and 8, that's like creepy stuff. Yeah. So I'm excited to see what they could do with the franchise.
Hey, Mark.
Oh, we got Mark in the chat. What's going on, Mark? Mark in the chat said that they forgot about the new Resident Evil movie. Yeah, they're making a new one. They're rebooting their franchise. Will Thomas in the chat said Barbarian was trash to me. The first half, what's that?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Oh, the first half was cool. Then it took a nosedive in the second half. See, I agree with that. I don't think the movie was trash, but I do agree that
the first half,
that back half was severely weakened. What were you about to say?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. And then Michael said, "Man, fingers crossed, get this Resident Evil right." Yes, fingers crossed. Because if they do it right, they're gonna build a whole new franchise with this. Paul Draw said, "Watch Barbarian. I'm interested to see his take on Resident Evil if it's full horror." Yeah. I agree.
I think that's what he's trying to lean towards. So
yes, exactly. Bringing it back to survival horror and actually making like a scary ass movie with Resident Evil. Taymon in the chat said that he's tired of Resident Evil.
It's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Well, we gonna pretend like those ones don't exist, I think, and he's just gonna, go back to the root of it, like what makes it what it.
Well, I mean, like, I feel like those movies have to have their place. There's a lot of cool shit in those movies. Like, there's fun to be had. Right. You know what I'm saying? And they're still there. But yeah, we're gonna try to make something that's actually in the spirit of the game.
Like, say you ain't tired of Scream, Tavon.
Michael said you ain't tired of Scream, Tavon. Nah, love that Scream. They can be on Scream 20.
Yeah.
And Tavon.
I told them they might as well go to 10 now.
Oh, they're gonna have to at this point. Yeah, they're gonna have to. They're gonna find a way to do it.
Yeah. Okay, so this doesn't really pertain to a movie per se.
Okay.
This next note. But this was like extensively talked about throughout the entire event. Like almost every panel except who was it? Universal talked about this particular topic. Did you want to save that for later, or because I put that there because it was first brought up there?
Yeah, we can mention it. Yeah, I'm cool with mentioning it. So, what she's talking about is a lot of. Before I jump into that, Paul Draws in the chat mentioned. Wait, there's Resident Evil Netflix series 4th time reboot. I forgot. Yeah, they are doing something on Netflix Resident Evil, and there's a lot of animated stuff Resident Evil too. But what Chrissy was talking about was a lot of these studio heads were talking about the release window from a movie being in theaters to being available digitally and on streaming. So during the Sony panel, it was, let me get this right. Was this during the Sony panel the AMC Entertainment CEO mentioned this?
No, but this is where he broke it down a lot better. But the Sony Pictures president is the first person who mentioned this topic.
So at some point, the AMC Entertainment CEO Adam Aron mentioned having discussions with studios about extending the theatrical window to at least 45 days. And apparently 3 have already agreed. Did they mention which 3 yet?
They didn't.
Okay. And I'm on board. I'm on board with this. Like, I think it's a good idea. I do think that they're missing the point a little bit because they're focused on the time windows We need to be focusing on just making good movies.
That's what someone else had mentioned too. Is like, how about y'all making good enough movies to make people want to go to the theater versus waiting until streaming? But yes, they are focused a lot on how long it's in the theater. So they're thinking, oh, if it's in the theater longer, then we'll make more money. But a lot of people feel that Universal didn't bring this up because Wicked made a lot of money on video on demand, like over $100 million just off being on VOD.
That's crazy,
insane.
But that's
to
different
them, it's
though,
like,
right?
Okay, does it matter if it's in the theater for this amount of time and then on streaming? Because if the movie is good, right, then it doesn't matter. They're gonna go to the movie theater, because people went to the movie theater like multiple times and still watched it on streaming. Mike, I know he's not on here now, but Mike, the other Mike, he watched Wicked a lot, like multiple times. But yeah, like if the movie is good, people are gonna go to the movie theater and see it. And I think that you're right. Like they're focusing on like the numbers,
right,
versus like making good content.
And it's not like that time window doesn't matter at all.
Yeah,
but I think it's way more important to make something that people deem worth going. That almost they got that FOMO feeling. Yeah, like, oh man, like I gotta go. Everybody talking about this shit, saying I gotta go see this.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Now, Michael in the chat brought up a good point, saying that I think if people know it'll be on streaming within even 2 months, they'll decide to wait anyway. It really depends on the movie, and that's true too. With the trend of it always being within 2 months, it's like, oh, it's not. I'm gonna save my money. I'm just gonna wait for it to be on whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think hand in hand, good ass movie. Extended window, I think they'll be all right. Yeah, but I notice these studios ain't saying like
they not.
We got to make better movies. We need better writers. We need to,
so one thing I also noticed following along with CinemaCon is there are not a lot of original movies. Like you see a lot of 2s, 3s, and 4s. A lot of remakes. A lot of just continuing franchises, but not a whole lot. Oh, this just is a brand new movie you never seen before. It's a very few of these presentations had brand spanking new content.
You're right. Yeah, it was a lot of franchises coming back, and it's just like, what happened to the original ideas? Like, and they've gotten so scared of risk that they just keep going to the franchises. That's true. You know what I'm saying? Now it's up to the independent scene to actually create the original stuff, because major studios ain't gonna do it no more. Michael in the chat said, we used to be excited to go to the movies, and that's super true. Yeah. Because I think about, we're a little bit in the older crowd, but I said we. You know what I'm saying? But when we were younger, like that, going to the movies was like an event. Yeah, and that's something that everybody wanted to do. Like, oh yeah, we're going to the movies. Yeah. Like, what y'all seeing? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But now it's like, I think there's a plethora of content.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying?
It is.
To where like it's like content overload. I feel like there's so much content. A lot of times people don't even. It used to be people who were kind of like always watching the same shit at the same time. Yeah. But now there's so much shit all at the same time. People are even watching the same stuff. Yeah. It's like, have you seen this? Nah. Like, oh, this is on this. But I'm over on this platform. It's overload right now. Yeah. Timan in the chat said, nostalgia is where the buying power is. Nostalgia.
I think especially now, right? Yeah. Like nostalgia is big.
It's big.
Yep. Yeah.
Even with the different trends right now, like you talking about that the one trend with lore, like where my lore starts.
Yeah.
Nostalgia is always something that brings in a lot of people. Paul Draws in the chat said Timon is right about nostalgia power. I agree with that. And hey, look, that goes back to our crowd too.
We're seeing that like with we just talked about, right? With the 28 years later thing, right? Mm-hmm. So many people jumped on that, so excited about that, and that's all got to do with like it's not nostalgia,
right? So. Yep.
And what we're about to talk about next, right?
Yeah, so let's go ahead and talk about the next horror film that Sony talked about in their presentation, and that is, of course, I'm gonna call it. What do they call those? Requels. A new sequel for I Know What You Did Last Summer, titled just I Know What You Did Last Summer, which is I thought they were gonna come up, do one of those creative titles, but I guess they chose not to. But the synopsis for this new I Know What You Did Last Summer reads: When 5 friends inadvertently cause a deadly car accident, they cover up their involvement and make a pact to keep it a secret rather than face the consequences. A year later, their past comes back to haunt them, and they are forced to confront a horrifying truth. Someone knows what they did last summer and is hell bent on revenge. As one by one the friends are stalked by a killer, they discover this has happened before. And they turn to 2 survivors of the legendary Southport Massacre of 1997 for help.
Yes, Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. are back. Those are the 2 survivors that are returned. Yeah. But I will say that people said that the trailer is exciting. Mm-hmm. And certainly reliant on nostalgia. Yep. Still, it has a certain mean streak that makes this legacy slasher feel slightly different from the recent Scream and Halloween legacy sequels. That's what someone said about it. It does have some other people we've seen, like Tariq Withers and Madeline Kahn, that are also in the cast. And it does come out in July 18th. I think for me, it's me and Taymon have already talked about this as well, but they couldn't do that different. It's the same story.
Oh yeah, it's the same exact story. Yeah, it's they're basically doing it for a new generation.
For the new generation,
while trying to like throw little nostalgia nuggets to people that are familiar with the franchise.
Yeah. And I don't even think if I'm not mistaken, they're not even in the whole film. I'm not really. Well, she died, Taymon. I don't think they could bring her back.
Bring the ghost back.
Yeah, I don't know. But I will say, I feel like my oh, okay, I got you. I feel like my excitement for this movie probably depleted a little bit after hearing what it was about.
Yeah. I hope that the legacy this being a legacy sequel, I hope it's more in the vein of the Scream legacy sequels, because they mentioned Scream and Halloween, right? Those are the 2 big like horror franchises that have had these new sequels for this new generation. Mm-hmm. The Scream ones are way better than the Halloween ones. The Halloween ones, after the first Halloween that they did, that shit was terrible.
Oh, you don't like it?
Because what was it? Halloween Ends. What was the other one?
Halloween Kills.
Both the movies is terrible.
Tim says it's just like that, AJ.
It's terrible. Yeah. If it could be like Scream, I'll be on board.
I agree with Mike. He said it disappointed hearing the plot, but hopefully it's at least fun. I think in this case, that's what it's all it can be and can provide. And kind of going back to the nostalgia element, right? Like those movies were, in a sense, fun, and probably watching those old characters and kind of being in that same town and environment or whatever, it'll just be just like reminiscent type of thing.
Yeah.
But, was that all the comments? Oh, this is Miss SMG already. Yeah. I hate that she can't come back for that one. But that was all the horror that came out of that particular
for the Sony panel. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let us know in the comments, y'all, for anyone watching on the replay, what did you think about Sony's offerings for horror that's coming in the next year or two? Next year, essentially. Yeah. So let's go ahead and switch gears. Let's talk about the
we haven't yet. We'll get there. That is in
the Universal.
That's Universal, yeah.
Right.
That's a Universal.
Yeah. So we'll get to that point. We're gonna jump into talking about Neon. So
this didn't really have any
they didn't have actual presentation.
Horror presentation, right? Yeah, they didn't have a presentation. They're kind of just like allowed them to speak right before the Lionsgate one.
Yeah.
But they were also kind of like highlighting the theatrical window thing too, and saying that the success that they've had was because of that. So she talked about Anora and the success that they've had with that film and how that's still in theaters now and still making
different because it was Oscar nominated and then it won the Oscar.
Yeah.
So now it's gonna drive people. Oh, now I gotta see this movie.
Yeah, but okay.
So that's like one I don't. It's an exception.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta showcase the ones that are regular. Like they're not nominated for shit. Like they're super average. Like those are the films
exactly
that we get that you needed that they need to focus on.
Right. So the only thing they did was do a teaser for The Life of Chuck, which is not really horror. It's more like a sci-fi drama. Yeah, sci-fi drama. That Mike Flanagan is directing. And then, right? Yeah.
That's Mike Flanagan.
And then Oz Perkins, they talked about his film Keeper, which we saw a snippet of at the end of
the monkey.
The monkey.
Yep. And that teaser was dope.
The teaser was
after
good.
The monkey. That teaser was good. That shit was creepy.
Yeah, that one comes out October 3rd. Paul mentioned Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Oh, yes. Hell yeah.
I mean, if we could talk about everything that came out of CinemaCon, that would definitely be the top of my list. I'm super excited about that. But they don't come out until 2027, right?
Yeah, it's 2027.
It's so crazy. So we got so long to wait for that.
Time for that. Yeah.
Mike said I missed the teaser. Yeah, they showed it at the very end of the credits of the monkey.
Yeah, like there's like an end credit scene for his next movie, which I was like, that's hard. That's actually hard as fuck. Like the monkey's not great.
It's not.
But to be like, oh, here's a teaser for my next movie.
Yeah,
that's dope as hell.
Yeah, it does. It did look cool. So.
And it was a creepy teaser, like that like haunting audio and the weird like screaming shit. Like that shit was weird and creepy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was it for Neon. They didn't really have a presentation, but at least they got a little window to talk.
Yeah, and also since Neon had this little snippet to talk, I was like, oh, A24 doesn't have that opportunity. They didn't. Well, I don't know if they were invited or not, but they didn't have a
little chance to talk. Well, they kind of hurting this year, so maybe we can talk about that at the end of it. But their movies aren't really doing super great right now, especially with the last Death of a Unicorn. Ain't nobody watched that one.
Nah, nobody did. And
it's
unfortunate that movie didn't make any money.
Yeah, and that's their fault for not marketing it very good.
I agree with that.
I felt like I saw no conversation for that. I only liked it. I only knew about it because we saw the trailer, and I was like, "Oh, this actually looks cool."
Yeah.
But all right, y'all. Let's go ahead and jump into the next.
Mike said I've fallen asleep in 2 of his movies. Did you fall asleep in Long Legs? Was that? Yeah, that's Oz Perkins too, right?
Yeah, you fell asleep in Long Legs. That's a little impressive. Not saying it's a
okay.
Not saying it's an amazing movie, but there's at least like some elements to it that keep you a little engaged.
Oh yeah, okay. Lionsgate.
All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and jump into Lionsgate because they talked about a lot.
They had a lot of
things.
stuff. Yeah,
they had quite a bit.
I think Lionsgate. They said Lionsgate and who is it that Jurassic Park is under? Universal. Those were the best panels.
Like panels, yeah.
Presentations. Yeah.
All right. Did you want to talk about this next one?
Sure.
Yeah, you probably have a little bit more insight into it.
So yeah, Lionsgate talked about a film called The Long Walk, which is going to be directed by Francis Lawrence, who directed The Hunger Games, and it's going to be starring Mark Hamill.
Dope.
And David Johnson.
Man, what a pair!
Andy from the Alien
Romulus.
Alien Romulus.
Yep.
So excited to see him back in something for sure.
Alien Romulus.
So The Long Walk is adapted from his very first story. I will say though, we have adapted enough Stephen King. I think.
Hey, the dude got a lot of stories and novels.
Well, my thing is like there's so many other writers, horror writers. Like why we keep adapting Stephen King?
Because for some reason that's what studios approve.
I guess. Anyway,
I got an idea. Stephen King story. Oh, really?
Another one.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So it's adapted from a Stephen King novel.
Is he getting royalties from all these too?
Is what?
Like when they adapt these Stephen King joints?
Mm-hmm.
Like does he get like?
Oh, I'm sure.
Dude getting paid. But
Mark,
yeah, sorry,
he said The Long Walk has went through hell being made. This is my first time actually hearing about this, Mark. I hadn't even heard about it. But yeah, it's like a dystopian horror, and it's about these group of boys who have to walk constantly until there's only one person left. They have to maintain a speed above 4 miles per hour, which is crazy because I have a walking pad, y'all.
That's just fast.
And I'm going like 3 miles an hour is like my limit. I can go 3.2 where I'm not like my back of my calves ain't hurting. But I can't imagine going 4
over 4
constantly.
That's quick. You moving. For like walking standard, you moving at 4.
That is so crazy. You receive 3 warnings in an hour, and you're shot dead. And then the last one walking gets whatever he wants for the rest of his life. Mike says, maintain the whole time. Count me out. Yeah.
I'm curious, like if, listeners and everything, like in Uber, Would you try to compete?
No, there's no way.
I think I might try to do it. I think I could do it. You know I walk fast.
Yeah, bro,
you know I walk fast as fuck though.
Just keeping going.
I think I could do it.
Well, other things happen, right? Like the boys, like people talked about the trailer. There's like it seems terrifying in a sense of you being having to go through this.
Yeah.
Hamill is playing the antagonist. He says that the source material is nightmare inducing. He also said at the presentation, if you can't be the hero, there's nothing better than being the villain. And I'm sure he could play a really good villain.
Oh, Mark Hamill, yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
This comes out September 12th. So it's not far. Yeah.
And I was like you, I never heard of it before. So to know that we're getting it in September, that's dope.
Yeah.
But I can see why they wanted to try to adapt this because it is a unique concept.
Seems really interesting.
It's such a random concept.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you stop walking, that's it. Boom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I also wonder, I'm assuming that it's like a game. I'm assuming.
Well, there's no end.
Or is it
there's no like
the whole world is participating in this?
Oh, yeah.
Or the whole country or whatever.
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But like a lot of people that said like the trailer looks really, really good. Okay. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, Mark in the chat said that it's on his shelf. So if you read it before it comes out,
read it beforehand, Mark.
Hey, let us know. Let us know what you thought about it.
Yeah. So next up, you got it, boo.
How you say my boy's name? Right
I just call him Luca, y'all, because I can never say his last name.
Guadagnino.
That sounded really good. That sounded really good.
So
he's the director of Challengers, Bones and All.
Bones and All is dope too.
He did some other stuff too, but those are my favorite.
Yeah,
my favorite ones.
Bones and All is so dope. But of course, he was on stage talking about American Psycho because he's doing the reboot or the retelling of that novel. Scott Z. Burns is writing the script. Who wrote Contagion and The Report? Contagion. That's like
he did some other stuff too, like the Bourne stuff.
Oh, the Bourne movies. Ooh, yeah, that's dope. Now Scott Z. Burns is quoted saying, or is this a quote that he said?
No.
Okay.
Just Luca.
This is what Luca said about him writing the script. So Luca said about Scott Z. Burns writing the script, he's doing an incredible job. The script is coming out very handsomely. It appears that no lead has officially been cast, despite rumors of Austin Butler being cast, and he's currently locked in conversation with very exciting performers to play the leads. So I remember that story came out a while ago.
Yeah, a while ago.
I guess it wasn't confirmed.
I guess not. It was funny because the actual writer of American Psycho, someone interviewed him about this, and he was saying, "Oh, it's probably not going to happen." He even said there's no script, there's no confirmation of who's going to be playing the lead, and he just doesn't see that it's actually going to be done. And so, then he comes out basically to kind of confirm, like, this is what we're doing. Like, we are working on this. We do have a script being worked on. And I am talking to people. Like, he hit all the beats of the stuff that the author had talked about in his interview, right? Like saying we're gonna work. This movie is coming out, so you just gotta wait for it. But that's all that he said about that.
Yeah. Now with the rumors that Austin Butler was gonna be cast, like, do you think like that he is actually cast? You know what I'm trying to say? But they just haven't got the official contract in yet, but they're working on a contract.
Well, maybe so, because I feel like it was reported that he was. And I mean, I don't know, unless he backed out of it or something like that. That's possible. Yeah.
I do feel like Austin Butler was like the easy button choice.
Oh yeah, definitely easy choice.
Yeah, he's got the look, he's got a wide range of acting ability. He done a music biopic, and he was one of the villains in Doom Part 2, playing a crazy dude. Like, so dude's got the range to do it, but I do feel like it was the easy button. Choice. Like, oh yeah, Austin Butler, like, that's an easy choice.
Mark said, I can't see why they remade American Psycho. Yeah, I'm not sure why they decided to do that either.
Yeah, and that goes back to like the franchise stuff. You know what I'm saying? Unless, like,
well, he did say that he wanted to make it more like the book,
right? Versus
like the original. So a lot of people that don't call it a remake, it's just like this is his take on the American Psycho
different
story.
Type of adaptation.
Yeah.
But yeah, y'all let us know how are y'all feeling about this American Psycho, especially with Luca doing it. Do y'all feel like that's a good match? Do you think Austin Butler is on the table really to play Patrick? Is Patrick? Was it Pat? What's the dude's last name?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm blanking on it for some reason. But anyway, next horror film. You want to talk about this one?
Hurry Up Tomorrow. I'm actually hyped now about this one.
Oh, now you're hyped. Because I swear when the trailer would play, you'd be like, I don't, because you don't really fuck with The Weeknd like that.
I don't fuck with The Weeknd.
Like, I don't care about this movie like that.
But actually hearing people talk about like having these people talk about the movie, like Jenna Ortega, Abel. How you say his last name?
I don't know how to say his name. I was calling
The Weeknd. Bateman. Thank you.
Bateman. Bobby. Patrick Bateman. I appreciate that.
Hearing them actually talk about the film. Well, obviously, they're going to talk good about the film because they're in it. But still, I don't know. It made me more excited about it. And it's more of like a psychological, trippy type of film. It's about him and his relationship with this girl. So The Weeknd is in a relationship with Jenna Ortega, and he's also like a musician. I think they have like a tumultuous type of relationship, and I like stuff like that, so that's like right down my alley. Right. I think you don't get that from the trailer. You don't understand what the heck is about.
Yeah, the trailer don't make no sense.
It doesn't make sense.
It's just like, oh, this looks good, but like visually, but I don't know
what the heck is going on. And then obviously she must have some sort of like ulterior motive or whatever. But anyway, they said it's a visceral cinematic experience, unlike any other film that they said. That's what they said. It's directed by Trey Edward Schultz. I'm not sure what kind of work he's done beforehand, but I'm excited about it. It seems like it's gonna be weird. And then after they did the presentation, he did a full freaking 15-minute set for his music. He did like 3 different songs.
Oh, that's actually dope. Dang.
Hey, Mike. I was talking about you earlier. You missed it out.
We got Mike in the chat. What's up? Bobby said, hurry up tomorrow. After his crazy weird TV show, I'm hoping it's much better.
I don't know, right? Yeah.
His music video, talking about The Weeknd, his music videos lean a lot towards horror, so I'm hoping he goes in. Yeah, his music videos do feature a lot of
they do.
Horror.
He's actually had 2 houses in the last
Halloween
years of Halloween Horror Nights. Yeah.
And that's crazy.
It is
back to back. I'm like, damn, that's actually like wow.
Yep.
But I feel like The Weeknd's definitely went into, even though his TV show wasn't like, I feel like it wasn't super well received.
Yeah.
You know, to get like this whole movie deal is actually interesting.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see after this kind of how much further he dips his toe into horror and other like film projects and whatnot. But I always thought that the trailer looked interesting.
Yeah.
I just couldn't tell what was going on.
I didn't understand what was happening. But once they kind of like talked about it a little bit more, to me, I was like, okay, I do want to see how this is gonna play out, type of thing. So yes, Mikey had horror houses. Like, there's no other musician that has ever had their own house at Halloween Horror Nights. It's so crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, Mike, we were talking about you. I don't know what we were talking about in regards to now.
You said, what terrible movie did we bring up?
I can't remember now.
Now, speaking of terrible movies, yo.
Great segue.
So, you know, The Stranger Chapter 1 falls under the Lionsgate umbrella.
Yes.
So, shockingly, or maybe not shockingly, they did not talk about The Strangers Chapter 2, which is releasing in September.
I thought they
26th.
would. I kind of thought that they would bring it up. So I was really shocked that they didn't. But yeah, no mention of that at all on their slate.
Hey, look, now I think they did do some reshoots for Chapter 2 after how Chapter 1 was received. I think they changed some things. But maybe that wasn't enough. And maybe Lionsgate feels like it's about to be just as bad as Chapter 1. So we just not even going to mention this, because then the theater owners in the house going to be like, look, we're trying to make money, dog. Like, this ain't bringing people to the theater.
I thought they were going to at least show some footage or something, but nope. They didn't even bring it up at all in their panel.
I think Chapter 2 is going to be another rough one.
Yeah.
And Mike in the chat said, okay, at least I ain't like Stranger Chapter 1.
Yeah.
Michael said, I have to watch Chapter 2 for
completion purposes. Yes,
I feel that.
Gotta do it all.
And then Mark said, I haven't even seen The Stranger Chapter 1. You ain't missing nothing, bro.
No,
you are not.
Well, you got time to catch up. The next one doesn't come out till September 26th. Right now, anyway.
Man, Christy would tell you how much I dislike that movie, because like I'm one of those people where if we go to the movies, because we did go to the theater and watch Chapter 1, where like I won't get up for nothing, and that movie was so bad that I was like, I'm going to the bathroom, because normally I'll hold that shit. Like, I don't care, my bladder about to burst. Like, I'm sitting in that theater to see everything. But during Chapter 1, I was like, fuck it, like,
yeah,
just tell me what happens, because this movie is terrible.
Paul John says bad look on Stranger Chapter 2. Yeah,
it is a bad look not talking about it. Bobby said chapter 2 I'll watch. I don't know if I want to go to the theaters though.
I feel you on that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Just wait for it to come on streaming.
Now, I think this was my favorite presentation, even though all the other ones had like really cool stuff. This one to me had the most horror news and the most interesting films I think that they talked about. So that was Warner Brothers. You want to go?
Oh yeah. So yeah, Warner Brothers actually has, I feel like a lot of good favor right now for some of the films that are coming out, especially in the horror genre. So the first film that they talked about was, of course, Sinners. That's a big one that's releasing for them in April. Oh, what was it? April 17th that it comes out, right? April 18th. Yeah, April 18th. Of course, coming from Ryan Coogler. Y'all know Ryan Coogler, Creed, Black Panther. And he's doing the Sinners, y'all. So check it out. So Ryan Coogler was actually on stage to talk about.
He did like a video.
Oh, a video. Okay, he did a video. Talking about the upcoming film. He actually mentioned that Sinners is his most personal film to date, which I thought that was very interesting. I feel like sometimes when people say that, one, that means that they put their heart into it. They put a lot of passion into it. And I feel like for someone like him, that probably means it's going to turn out really good.
Yeah.
Because, for some people, they like, you need some assistance. You can't. This can't be 100% you. You know what I'm saying? But a couple other things that he mentioned about Sinners, right, is he mentioned that it pays homage to blues music,
which we kind of figured because of the trailer, right? It feels like blues. They do have like their little blues club, and like just the overall like aesthetic to me screams that time period.
Yep.
And someone mentioned this in one of our comments on our posts because we are actually giving away 2 tickets to Sinners on Instagram. But someone mentioned this in the comments. They said, do you think it might have something to do with like the Robert Johnson story? And I feel like you kind of get those vibes a little bit.
You do a little bit,
like this shack in the middle of the darkness and stuff is just kind of reminiscent of the story with the couple with the music. But yeah, it does. He said it does play homage to blues music, so I really love that.
Yeah, and I want to like sidetrack a little bit. That second Sinners trailer that has been playing in the previews as of late for when we go to the movies. Man, we love that trailer.
I love it.
We be loving that. We be like quoting the whole trailer. He's like, "Y'all twins? Nah, we could.
We could."
And then the music. The music in that
really
trailer
good.
is so fire.
Yeah.
Like, if y'all haven't seen the second trailer for Sinners, which I will say it does give away a little
bit. It does too much.
A little too much.
Mark just said it. It gives away too much.
It does give away a little bit too much. But I will say, like, it got me even more excited for the film. I was like, damn, this shit.
And that's something
good.
also that was brought up during CinemaCon. How much is given away in trailers?
Yeah.
Because that will also deter people from coming to the movie theater too. They're like, well, you done gave away the whole movie. Like, I'll just wait. Versus, oh, like, what's it gonna be about? Let me go see it.
Yeah.
So like a lot of the like AMC people, they're like, how about let's cut back to the studios, like the theater people telling the studios, like, can y'all trim down these trailers with not giving too much away when you're doing them? So I think they could give away too much in that trailer for sure.
Yeah, they give away a lot, and I think they even recently put a clip from the movie.
They gave out
on YouTube.
There's a lot of marketing coming out for Sinners. They are everywhere. They're on TV shows. Money. They giving out showing clips and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's for sure.
Now here's something interesting about Sinners, right? This is something that when you first told me about it, because you was kind of watching the feeds when this was happening, that was like, whoa, like where did this come from? You know what I'm saying? So apparently Sinners is the start of a hunter's universe where a generational bloodline of hunters will hunt monsters over time.
Yeah.
This dude's creating
right,
Black Van Helsing
basically
universe, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, what? Like, that came out of nowhere. But something else was interesting was outside of CinemaCon, there was an early screening of the film and there were multiple applause breaks. And someone was quoted saying it was like being in an Avengers movie. And the film also has 2 post-credit scenes,
which lead to the
future Hunters universe that Ryan Coogler has created.
That's crazy.
That's dope as hell. That is crazy to me. I did not see that coming. Like, that's wild.
It's so wild, and I'm so excited for that. I mentioned this last night on our review with the Scream Kings and Queens when we talked about the woman in the yard, And Mike had even said, you know, we need like black werewolves and all this kind of stuff. And I think, I don't know what he's going to be creating, but I just, that my mind goes to like Supernatural, right? Like you had Dean and Sam yeah, and they, you know, fighting all these monsters. Show. And I think about, oh, this could be our Dean and Sam, like a black version of Dean and Sam.
A black Supernatural? Well, she already know I'm a Supernatural fan. He is. I've seen the whole series. Man, a black Supernatural? Ooh, man, that'd be fire. Man, that'd be crazy. Just looking at the chat real quick, we got a lot of love for Sinners. A lot of people in the chat saying
super hype.
That they want to see Sinners. A lot of people saying they love it. Can't wait to look for it. I think Michael at one point talked about where was it at? Michael in the chat said, I feel like I'm gonna be pumping the Black Power fist during this movie. And I feel like that's true, man. It's gonna be like watching remember when Black Panther came out? Like just the vibe that was in that theater with like all black people showing up, showing love and just being in the theater watching that. It's a crazy experience. And I feel like it seems like Sinners is gonna be in that that same vein, which I think is super dope.
Yeah.
Bobby in the chat saying a black Supernatural. Oh yeah, definitely. Oh man, that would be fire. So hard. And we have as a culture like the folklore and stuff to be able to support that. I think it'd be really dope. Could you imagine if they were like doing like different voodoo shit and stuff? Oh man,
you are crazy.
We talk about a super fan mode, man. I'd be subscribed all the way. Nerd Soul said, oh shout out to Nerd Soul.
Hey Nerd Soul.
Said he's able to catch us live. He said Supernatural is classic. They struggled after say season 6 or 7, but it picked back up in the last 2 seasons. I think they did definitely refine their footing. But what I always give credit to Supernatural for, which is always finding a way to like one up the ante and then like further the lore in the story. Every time I thought they couldn't like find some new way to like take shit to the next level, they do it. And I'm like, damn, like this shit. And then they end up taking it all the way to the max level by the end of the series, which is super dope. Paul Draw said, yes, both Latino and Black Werewolf needs the attention. 100% agree with that.
Oh, Paul Draw, I don't know if you listen to what is that guy's podcast? It's called Run Food. If y'all know who I'm talking about, put it in the chat for me because I can't think of his name. He got a podcast called Run Food and he does like stories. I don't think they're real stories. I think they're fictional stories, but a lot of them have to do with like folklore and even like Latino folklore, Black folklore, indigenous folklore. Like they're really good stories. Rodney Barnes, thank you, Mark. There's some really good stories on there, and there's a werewolf one that I think you probably would like. It's really good.
Yeah. But anything else you want to add to Sinners?
Oh no, just hype.
Yeah, I think the Sinners hype is going through the roof right now. We only got a couple of weeks away before we get to see this film, and I'm feeling like it's going to deliver. So we're definitely excited to see it. Y'all let us know how excited you are for Sinners. Now jumping to the next film that Warner Brothers showed at CinemaCon at the presentation was they talked about Final Destination Bloodlines, and they showed 7 minutes of footage.
Yeah.
Did you want to dive into this?
Sure. So a lot of people described the footage that they saw, but I ignored those. I put my blinders on.
You got to.
Because I did not want to know anything about the kills, like the details, because a lot of people did break down the kills that they saw in this footage, and I didn't want to hear. I didn't want to read it. But if y'all are interested, it is out there for you to see. People do describe it. But Richard Brenner, who is the president and chief creative officer of New Line Cinema, he was the one who presented this particular presentation. And after they showed the footage, he was like, "See you at the Oscars."
Hey, he feeling confident.
He feeling really confident.
Real confident.
Exactly. But yes, Tamar, R.I.P. to Tony Todd.
Hey, rest in peace to the legend, Tony Todd.
Yes, I agree. After watching that trailer, I was like, this is like the perfect like send off for him. I think as far as film goes. So I'm definitely locked in and excited to watch that. It comes out May 16th. Yep. Now the people did, like I said, they did describe the kill that they saw in this 7 minutes of footage, and from what I heard, it's like super gnarly,
super brutal,
and like takes it to a whole new level, like a new level, because we're all traumatized a lot from like the getting on the airplane and the log truck. But this one is like they was like whatever the situation, you're gonna think like this is like an everyday type of situation.
Nice.
And it's gonna be
after seeing that trailer, it is.
Yeah.
The whole cookout scene.
Right?
Like,
yeah,
that's super normal.
That's super normal.
It's super normal.
And I think that's what's going to be scary because these are going to be really normal like situations.
Like, I think which Final Destination was it where the dude was in the drive-thru and that boat?
Oh yes, that was crazy.
Like, that's so random that you're like, I mean, that won't really ever happen. You know what I'm saying? But if you're doing like daily life shit, that's when it's like it's gonna increase people's paranoia like crazy.
For sure. But the hype is real for Bloodlines. It is. Isn't it the most watched horror trailer? I feel like
I think
it is the most watched horror trailer.
I think it did become. I think the second most was It.
Yeah.
I think it beat It's trailer.
The hype is real for this movie.
Oh yeah,
it's super hype.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much all they presented on that film.
Yeah, shout out to the people that watched our trailer reaction because the numbers, I think that was a good indicator too of how big that trailer was.
Yeah, that was
because our trailer reaction did really good. And I was like, okay, people really hyped.
They really like this one. Yeah.
But I think it's a perfect time for it too because the really graphic horror type of films are really big right now, where people are just going ham with the gore effects. So I feel like Final Destination coming back at this time is perfect.
Yeah.
Like, it's people kind of on board for the real, just like fucked up type of stuff. With like, Terrifier and things like that.
Yeah. Thanks, Mark.
What's up?
He said the trailer reaction was fire.
Oh yeah, shout out to Mark watching that. Yeah, that was a good time. That trailer reaction, that trailer was just,
it was crazy.
It was super fun in general. Like,
come on, says it's really heavy on spoilers, so don't watch the second. Whenever the new trailer comes out. Don't worry, I won't be watching it.
Yeah, nah, because I'd rather just be surprised by the setups. I feel like they're probably gonna show a lot of the setups
for sure
in that trailer.
The next movie they talked about was The Bride, and I'm legit excited about this too. Now, this one is being directed by Maggie. You know how to say her name? I don't.
Oh, which one?
Gyllenhaal. Is it Gyllenhaal? If you saw her, you know who I'm talking about. Yeah. But basically, it's her take on The Bride of Frankenstein. She talked about how in the original Bride of Frankenstein, she's literally like barely in the movie, really. So she's doing a new unconventional take on the story. So the log line is, in the 1930s Chicago, Frankenstein asks Dr. Euphorius to help create a companion. They give life to a murdered woman as the bride, and it sparks romance, police interest, and radical social change. Now, this was originally coming out in September, but they said they moved it to March 6, 2026.
That's a big jump.
That's a really big jump.
That's a huge jump.
Now, it was originally going to be on Netflix, but Warner Brothers was like, "Oh, we'll take it," because she wanted to film it in New York to make it authentic to her story or whatever. And they were like, "Nah, we ain't doing that." So WB decided that they would take it on and let her film it in New York.
That's dope.
And she shot it on IMAX, so it's gonna be IMAX.
Wow,
it's gonna be in the IMAX. And then it's like a steampunk horror blend of like a gangster flick and a monster movie and a Victorian romance.
Look, man, I feel like ordinarily I'd probably be excited for that combination.
I think it's gonna be lit.
But we had Nosferatu, which was in that same kind of vein, and my dislike for that increased the more I thought about it.
Well, I think Nosferatu is more of like it's a different vibe. Because me, I'm like steampunk. I'm like, come on, now, that seems like
the
super
steampunk
fun.
element, but I think all the other shit, like you talk about the Victorian romance, gothic shit,
coupled with steampunk and gangster flick, like think about like Bonnie and Clyde.
That's a lot of
but
shit
like
in
a
the
horror version, a horror version of Bonnie and Clyde.
Is it overseasoned, or is that all gonna mix together? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, but she was there presenting it, and to me, I'm thinking the sound of it sounds cool. So hopefully we'll get a first. Well, I don't know, because they moved it to damn March of next year. I don't know when we'll get like a trailer for it.
I don't know. It seems like they're definitely still cooking with this one.
Yeah. Paul Joe says, y'all cool with Tattoo Frankenstein? We're tired of seeing monsters wearing weird features. Because we had that one image of I'm
not blanking on Christian Bale. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, look,
we gonna see.
Look, well, you haven't seen it yet.
I haven't.
No. I don't know why they go for when they. I don't know why when they try to like modernize shit and they like try to do like the Crow. Like he had all the Crow. Like, you just look stupid. I haven't seen that. Like
I bet you it's good, and you just think it's good because it's a romance.
All right, listen, y'all.
Mike said it's right the mashup. I'll check it out, but I agree. AJ Nosferatu worked my nerves.
Yeah. And look at Paul Draw said like Nosferatu, Dr. Eggman, mustache, forehead, Wolfman. Yeah, that once it was crazy because like when he's in shadow, I was like, oh, like
yeah.
And then
he has a lot.
Once
more
I saw him, I was like, yo, dude look goofy as hell. Like this shit looks so stupid to me. And I get the whole idea of like, oh, we're trying to be historically accurate. It's a fucking movie. Fuck that. Like,
oh my god.
Fuck the historical accuracy. Like, make him look.
I'm not sitting with him.
Make him look creepy. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyway.
I'll let you take the next movie since I talked about the last two.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump to the next film, y'all. And it's about a franchise we love.
We love the first movie in the franchise. Well, the first two movies.
I'm talking about the whole universe.
The whole universe.
I like the whole universe.
All right.
There's bad films in the universe, but overall,
that's why you taking this one.
Overall of the universe, I don't give a fuck. Is The Conjuring Last Rites. So that is the final film in the mainline The Conjuring franchise with Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Yeah.
So I don't think they showed no footage, nothing like that, right? So the New Line Cinema though, the New Line Cinema president says The Conjuring Last Rites is the best movie in the franchise. Now he could just be talking that talk
because The Conjuring is good as heck.
He could just be talking that talk.
He could just be talking that talk.
I gotta hype this up to make people go watch it. It's the best one of the whole franchise. You know what I'm saying? But I feel good. I feel like the people that work on this film know it's the final one. We gotta go hard as hell.
Yeah.
It comes out September 5th, so we don't have too long of a wait.
Right.
But I'm excited for this one.
I'm excited for it too. It's supposed to be about their last case.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering, are they gonna like how because obviously we still have the same actors playing these characters, right? And if this is their last, wait, is it their actual last case? Because that's what it said. It said it's their last case. But I'm like, is because they were old when they were still doing this, right?
I don't know. Maybe like them operating under a certain umbrella.
Maybe so.
Like that.
I don't know. Yeah. But I'm still excited about checking it out, for sure.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's time. We need to close the book on The Conjuring, because it's been going for a long time.
For a while.
Yeah.
But it will be weird once Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga walk away from this because they've been doing it for so long. Yeah. And I remember she even made that Instagram post once they wrapped filming.
She was saying goodbye.
Yeah, it was like, dang, this feels weird. Like we've been playing these characters for so long. So I feel at least a little bit confident that they put the right amount of love and passion into this to actually create a good film.
I think so too.
And is it what's the dude's name did Nun 2? Is it Chavez?
Yes.
Michael Chavez, because he's doing Last Rites.
Correct? I know. That's the only thing that I am weary about, because yes, Chavez did The Nun 2, right?
Yep.
He also did La Llorona,
which is
he did he did The Devil Made Me Do It. He did another one in there. I don't know which one it was.
Yeah.
But either way, the films that he's done are not the strongest films in the universe.
They're not the strongest.
So that's why I'm like.
Caveat though, I did like The Nun 2.
I know you did. I don't know.
Especially when it went like anime mode and like the finale.
Anime mode? I think you're just making stuff up.
Crazy dope. What? I don't want to talk about the spoilers of the ending, but it went anime mode, and I was like, "Oh, I did not see this shit coming." Like this shit, all this different shots and the angles, and I don't know, just had this like anime final battle feel to it. It was just, to me, it was super fire.
Paul Josh says we don't talk about the curse.
Yes, of La Llorona. The curse of La Llorona was a rough one. Like that's you talking about a dumb movie.
Thank you. Yes,
you talked in the comments said you liked The Nun too.
Thank you.
You could crucify me for it, but I'm being real. I like that
movie.
Film.
Was not good.
I think Valak is just creepy as hell,
and especially directing
Valak creeping around a corner. Then the finale was just so dope. Like it took it to the next level for me. That finale was crazy. Like I told you, it was like anime battle mode. Okay, man. I liked it.
Well, he's directing this movie, so just be aware.
Well,
the first Nun to me was better than the second one.
Baby, you tripping. You are tripping.
I like the first one better.
The Nun 1 is better than Nun 2. You are crazy. Nun 1 is terrible.
Okay, let's move
really
on. Paul Draws says country having anime final battle. I don't know why he said it like that.
Paul Draws, have you seen The Nun 2? If you haven't seen it, Watch it, you'll know exactly what I meant.
Okay.
If you watch anime, you'll know what I mean.
All the nuns are flawed. Absolutely.
Yeah, they're all flawed. For
sure.
Yeah, I agree with Tamon. All the nuns are flawed.
Yeah.
But see, Michael even said the Nun 2 had good creepy moments. It did.
So did the first Nun. When they found that body inside that freezer thing, that cold area, that shit was scary.
I don't think their scares were as good as Nun 2 though.
It don't matter. I think my biggest problem with Nun 2 is what they did with Storm.
Oh well, yeah, that was a wasted character.
Her character was wasted.
Super wasted. But anyway, The Conjuring Last Rites, y'all, coming September 5th.
September 5th.
We're super hyped for this one. Hopefully, it lives up to what the New Line Cinema president is saying, that it's the best one in the franchise. I think that's going to be very tough to beat, considering, I mean, Conjuring 1 is amazing.
It is amazing. So we actually have a video on that. Go watch it.
But yeah.
The next film that we talked about was called Weapons. And this is another Zach Cregger film.
Yeah, Zach Cregger out there working.
He's got freaking almost all the movies out here.
Zach Cregger is working.
Again, he's the one who directed Barbarian. He's going to be directing, what was the other movie we talked about?
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil.
Yep.
And he's going to be directing this movie. Well, he's already directed it. It's already ready to go. Called Weapons. So they showed footage of this one. Now, I did write out what they said a little bit about the film just to give you a general idea, because I personally had never even heard about this.
Me neither.
Yes, Mark, it's very secretive. Like they call it like a secret horror film, top secret. But it was originally coming out in 2026, but they pushed it onto the calendar for 2025. So it'll be coming out August 8th.
Dope.
And it's about this crazy instance where every child that woke up in a town in the middle of the night at 2:17 a.m., they walk outside, wreak havoc on the town, and then they're never seen again. So the footage, I didn't write, like I said, I didn't put down too much stuff because I want to wait until I personally see it, but y'all can go look it up and find out what they said. But a lot of people say it's super bloody, super gory, and pretty scary. So I don't know, but he did talk about the film. He said there's an undeniable amplification when you go into a horror movie, when you're allowed to be on this roller coaster ride together. To do it in unison is a wonderful thing. And it stars
crazy cast.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this cast?
Except for Julia Garner. I have mixed feelings about her because of how she was in The Wolfman, but that could have just been how her character was written. You said she's really good in that one show.
Oh, Ozark. Yeah, she's
Ozark.
Amazing. She's amazing.
So I don't know. I never seen Ozark. So
well, the cast includes Alden Ehrenreich,
yeah,
Julia Garner, Josh Brolin,
yep,
and Benedict Wong.
Yeah, it's a crazy cast.
That's a dope ass cast.
Yeah,
it was random for this secret ass horror movie. That's a dope cast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for this one.
I'm excited about this one. Came out of nowhere.
You know me. I love like very unique concepts, weird concepts. So this idea of like, you know, okay, every child woke up at this specific time, did a bunch of crazy shit, and then just disappeared.
And then the fact that it's called Weapons,
right?
It's super weird.
It's like some, you know, Manchurian candidate type shit where like maybe like, you know, when before they was born, they implanted some shit in them, and then it got activated at a certain time.
That's wild.
Something weird, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Just because of it's called Weapons, like I'm assuming it's gonna go in that route somehow.
It sounds crazy though.
But I will say the fact that it got bumped up like so far ahead,
yeah,
like from January 2026 to August 2025,
yeah,
that's a huge bump.
Yeah, they were like, we gotta put this out.
I feel like that means they have a lot of confidence in this film, and if Zach Cregger kills it with this,
yeah,
I think people will be even more excited that he's doing Resident Evil. If this has that creepy vibe, they'll be like, oh yeah, give this dude Resident Evil, fuck it, like he gonna crush it.
Yeah,
but they must feel real confident.
Yeah.
About this film, especially if it's that ready to go, where it's like, oh, it's already like golden, like it's sealed and good to go. Okay, bump it up to August.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because some comments in the chat, you had already mentioned. Mark said, you know, he's intrigued by this one because the film was shrouded in secrecy when it was in production. And then Mark was, you know, mentioned that the release date is super soon, but that description is a winner. Much agreed, and we will all be seated. And Tamon said Julia Garner is a talent.
Like I said, I've only seen her in Wolfman, so that's all I have based on. And I said I think it probably was how her character was written, not so much her as an actress. So we'll see how she does in this one.
Yep.
Going back to what Will said, he said, I'm gonna be honest, the first Conjuring is the only good movie in the whole universe, and I agree. The second one was okay. Let's get the third one. I feel
okay for the second one. The second one is good.
I like the only thing I like about I think it's the third one.
The third one is The Devil Made Me Do It.
I think I like, yeah, because that was when that woman was doing all the spooky
stuff.
stuff.
The witch.
I like that. The only thing I like about that one is the relationship between Ed and Lorraine. That's my
their chemistry is always
favorite thing. Good. Yeah. And then the second one, I think I like some aspects of it. But I just feel like the first one is the strongest. It's just the strongest.
Yeah, I do agree. The first one is the strongest, but man, The Conjuring 2 has a lot of things to love. It's creepy as hell. There's a lot of like character moments.
I do like the thing with the old man.
With the old man. Yeah, where it's like a fake out, like he was being forced to do this shit. Obviously, the Ed and Lorraine, relationship dynamic. That's when he plays that song and shit like that.
AJ be walking around the house singing the song.
That was like a very heartwarming moment. And then not only that, like she's having these visions. Obviously, this gave us our introduction to Valak. With Valak creepy as hell, spun up a whole franchise.
Yeah.
So
that's what it is. You like the Valak character.
I love the Valak character. Yeah. I just like the whole story of that film, and then obviously like the different dynamics at play. And then obviously we get that dope ass scream that she did when Ed went to that thing. Yeah. He was locked in there. She couldn't get in there. I can't do it. I can't do it. I ain't gonna do it. But
he does it really good.
Ed like crazy, boy. Goes, that man, she. That shows that really love. Good. That shows that love.
Yeah. Oh, Bobby also mentioned Julian Garland. He didn't care for her in Wolfman very much. I feel like she was like an accessory in that movie. She wasn't.
Yeah, really good. Something about Julia Garner and Wolfman. I don't know if it was the directing of the script. Something just seemed like it wasn't like meshing right, and I think there wasn't a good representation of her abilities.
Okay. Well, we're gonna see her in Weapons August 8th.
And just real quick, Nerd Soul mentioned that the Conjuring universe is dope, and obviously WB's best universe.
Yeah, I love that universe.
Hey, look, I would say it's better than the DC universe and all that. Speaking of which, because this is Warner Brothers, they did not mention anything. I know this is horror, but they didn't mention anything DC besides Superman, which I thought was a little weird.
Only Superman. Superman took over everything. Were you expecting something else like?
Well, yeah, I don't know. That they got the Clayface movie. That's supposed to be horror.
What Clayface? Oh, yeah.
I don't think they talked about that. There's a lot of things that I thought they could have talked about, but they just didn't. Maybe there's a lot of plans going into the works.
Yeah.
All right, y'all, let's go ahead and jump into the next panel though. And this was the Universal panel. There's a lot going on at the Universal panel as well. A lot of dope shit. At
yes.
The so first we got to kick it off with the first thing he talked about, which we're putting up here because it's starting to seem more and more like this is definitely going to be in the horror camp. And that was Jurassic World Rebirth. So before they talked about the film, they had a full orchestra playing legendary scores from Universal, such as Jurassic Park, Jaws, Shrek, Conclave, E.T., and they closed with Wicked.
Yeah, I know that was so fire. I could just imagine. Okay, because I'm a big I like stuff like that because I was in the band when I was in school, so I like to hear stuff like that. But obviously, everyone who knows me knows Jurassic Park is my absolute favorite horror movie. It's probably like my favorite movie in general. Yeah. But I was really excited about this. But yeah, so they did have like a full-on orchestra playing like all these songs. And then before they went into the Jurassic World thing, they played the Jurassic Park theme again. Yeah. I was like, I would be in there crying.
I mean, that theme is super fire.
It is.
Even like how it just starts slow.
Yes.
And then that crescendo. Come on now.
It's fire.
But we had Chairman Donna Langley, who stated Universal delivers the most films each year, and it's the only big panel not to mention theatrical windows. So I guess maybe they feel like they're doing good enough where it's like, look,
we don't need to talk
our
about
shit is hitting. We ain't worried about theatrical windows, especially because of like Wicked, like you mentioned.
Right, they made a lot of money off Wicked. They sidetrack. They also showed the trailer or teaser trailer for Wicked 2, but you can't see who's playing Dorothy. A lot of people were like trying to figure out who that was, but you can't see her face. The only person the only individual that you could see clearly was the lion. Yep. But it's like a mix of high CGI hybrid type stuff. But it looks exactly the same because they filmed it. A lot of people were like, "Oh, did they change anything?" And I'm like, they filmed these together. They just split it up.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Right. So nothing's gonna look different. But yeah, I'm super excited for that one.
Now jumping back to Jurassic World Rebirth.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
Now, were these folks actually on stage?
Oh, Mike, that's what we were talking about. If he's still on here, we were talking about Wicked. Okay.
Go ahead. Wicked, right? Yeah. Were these people actually on stage before I jump into this?
Yes, these people are all there.
Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, and director Gareth Edwards were all on stage to talk about Jurassic World Rebirth. Some things that they mentioned that was actually like, damn, okay. There was no green screens or fake places. They actually shot in real rivers and hung out of real helicopters and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And I guess I shouldn't be too surprised because that's Gareth Edwards likes that.
Yeah.
He likes to shoot like real life and then add effects into the real life.
Yeah. So they were in places like Thailand.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah. So all that stuff was real.
Because if you look up how he made The Creator, which is the film I still haven't watched yet. I really want to watch it. But if you look at some of the featurettes and behind the scenes, like he just shot a lot of shit real. And then the VFX people just had to go in and like soup that shit up. You know what I'm saying? But it looks really good. So even from the trailer that we got, I feel like Jurassic World Rebirth looks really good. But some other things was that people mentioned coming out of this presentation was that Jurassic World Rebirth is more like the first Jurassic Park. They wanted to put the scares, back into the Jurassic formula. And this Johansson that said this? You think you've seen a Jurassic movie before, but man, not like this.
Ooh,
come on now!
I'm excited.
They talk.
They really are.
But it's coming out July 2nd. I'm excited. The fact that it's having more of those horror moments, I think is going to lend to it having that Jurassic Park feel. Because like you mentioned, you go back and watch that OG Jurassic Park. There's a lot of like horror sequences. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, maybe there's no gore, but there's scary situations, iconic scenes that people still have not forgotten. Even if people haven't seen the movie in a long time, they still remember the T-Rex scene. They remember the raptor chase sequences in the kitchen and all that shit. They haven't forgotten that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited to see what they do with this. And unfortunately, Mahershala Ali was like, I guess we never make Blade, so I'm gonna go do these other movies over here.
I have hope that we'll finally get a Blade. A Mahershala Ali Blade. That's what I want.
Super sidetrack, right?
Okay.
Super sidetrack right now. But you know how Marvel did the chair thing for Doomsday, right? Announcing some of the cast.
Yes.
Obviously, still have some more to go. If they do the chair thing again,
you think they want to?
How fire would it be when they pull that shit back? That shit say Mahershala Ali.
Oh, as Blade. That would be fire.
Oh man, that'd be fucking crazy. But anyway, yeah, Jurassic Park World Rebirth.
I will say, I don't know. We'll see. The last two disappointed me. Absolutely agree. As someone who is
Super
a big
forgettable.
Jurassic World Park fan, honestly, I don't think I like any of the Jurassic World films. I kind of like.
Do you even remember anything from those Jurassic? Oh, you do? Okay.
I kind of like I think it's the second one, right, where they're out in the cabin.
I don't remember.
Okay, the one where they're out in the cabin and they try to save Blue's baby. That's the second one, right?
Wait, how many Jurassic World films are there? Is there 2 or 3?
It's 3, right?
Because it's Jurassic World,
right? And then that second one, where I think I'm talking about, and then
Jurassic
the third
World
one,
was like Fallen something
like that.
And then the third one was Dominion, right?
There you go.
That's it. So there was 3. Yeah. The third one was when they went like heavy nostalgia, brought everybody back.
Oh right, because they had. Oh yeah, I didn't like that. Yeah. That wasn't good.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like these movies are super forgettable to me. Like even right now, like I had to strain to be like, okay, like which one was which? Now there's definitely some good moments in there.
There are some good moments in Jurassic World.
Yeah, like okay, so yeah, Bobby in the chat said the first Jurassic World slaps, the rest suck. Yeah, there's some good moments in the first Jurassic World, but I feel like they're really grasping for story, which is funny because the Jurassic Park OG had the same issue with this sequels. That first one hit hard as fuck. Then Lost World comes out and people are like,
Y'all look at my baby get me.
Oh yeah, I found that at the thrift store today.
It's a VHS, but look. I don't know if y'all can see it or not, but it
has the 1997 holographic card in there too. Still,
it's super fire.
Which I was like, well, I can't believe that's actually still in here.
Yeah,
whoever dropped that off, like, probably never watch that joint. It's because the condition, the conditioning on it is crazy.
Thank you, babe. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, of course, man. What else we got in the chat? Let's see. Paul Draw said, "Fallen Kingdom." I can't see
the darkness.
Oh,
I can't see the darkness.
Let's see what else. Marco said, "Battle of Big Rock was better than the last two combined." What else?
Okay.
Oh, talk and then they're in the comments are talking about the VHS.
Oh yeah. I only have the first one and the third one, so I didn't have the second one. I got I have Jurassic Park 3 on VHS and I have Jurassic Park on VHS.
So you got the full collection.
So now I got all three.
Yep, you're good to go. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're nice little bookshelf decorations. You know what I'm saying? But look, we'll see how this Jurassic World Rebirth does. If it does good, it could reinvigorate that franchise. But okay, hey, look, if it does good, you know what's going to happen? Maybe they'll make more like this, more like either standalone or just take it back to simple stuff instead of doing this I don't know, whatever the fuck they were doing with these other ones. Just make a good movie with dinosaurs and make it scary. That's all you need to do because dinosaurs are scary.
I'll do the next one so you can do Five Nights at Freddy's.
Okay, so go ahead. So the next film
is Him, and this one was presented by Marlon Wayans and Tariq Withers. The both of them were there for this one, and this one was also kind of sort of secret where you didn't really know the synopsis. Mm-hmm. We knew it had to do with football, obviously, and then we had at first it was going to be called GOAT, but they changed it to Him.
Yep.
So now we know kind of a little bit more details about it. So Wayans plays Withers' college football coach who pushes the player to be better. Someone likened it to being kind of like Black Swan in that trying to achieve perfectionism. Mm-hmm. And it mixes the occult with football. The trailer features a satanic compound that has goat images, people drenched in blood, and alluring, scantily clad women. And it's super bloody, brutal, and really intense. So it sounds like it's gonna be pretty crazy. I think we kind of figured that was the way it was gonna go.
I said this. If you go back look at our old videos, I was like, well, you know how this shit's gonna be.
Yeah,
it's gonna be about rich ass athletes or celebrities doing some crazy ass satanic shit to be able to get their abilities or their fortune or success.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. And the trailer features all these weird satanic images and stuff. Man. So I think it's gonna be super good. Hey Nadia in the chat. Thanks for popping in. But I'm really excited about this one. This one also comes out on September 19th. So not too far away on that. And obviously we all know it's being produced by Monkey Paw Productions.
Yep.
And directed by Justin Tipping. I don't recall what he's done before. I feel like this is probably his first big film.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. I told AJ about this. They presented another film called GOAT, and it's an animated film, like Paul Joss was saying, so they couldn't call it GOAT.
It's damn, we can't, kids will be typing in GOAT and getting the wrong movie, the way wrong movie streaming.
But that GOAT movie does look pretty interesting.
And I heard that there was that GOAT movie, people were surprised by it.
Yeah,
they said it looked good.
It did. It seemed like it looked really good.
And I actually think Steph Curry is involved.
Steph Curry, it's his it was his his idea or something like that.
That's cool.
But yeah, anyways, Him, September 19th. I think it's gonna be super dope.
Yeah, Will in the chat said that he thought that Jordan Peele was gonna direct it.
I think a lot of times
if you see Monkey Paw,
you just automatically think that he would, but he's only producing. Yep. And I think Justin Tipping also wrote this script as well, I believe.
Okay.
So he wrote it and is directing it as well. But they did get a first look at it, like I said, and everybody said it looked really, really good.
I mean, that. I'm actually surprised that it took somebody this long to do a modern day concept of this, just because there's so much conspiracy stuff in real life. So I think that this will be really interesting and given today's times.
And one of my things, my questions, I guess you say, was how Wayans was gonna play in this movie. But a lot of people say he acts completely different in this.
I believe that.
He's not, because I'm used to seeing him be funny and lighthearted, but in this it's kind of like the opposite completely of that.
I'm excited. I hope it's like some crazy shit, man. Like I'm imagining him with Tariq Withers. He's like, you better cut that fucking goat's neck. You know what I'm saying? So just some crazy, just fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Man. Like
Mark says we'll take 2 days off for that too. The conspiracy theories are gonna have a field day with this.
Oh yeah, because you know people on YouTube how they be like analyzing like, oh, you see they did the image on the stage and they have this backdrop or this background. So they're gonna take this movie and be like,
they're doing
this is Hollywood now. They're showing y'all it's in the movie. They're putting it right out in front of you in this movie. This movie is a documentary basically. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be hilarious, but I'm excited for it. I think it's smart to do a movie that relates to all of the conspiracy shit that people say goes on. Yeah, which I think I think there's some truth to some of those things. We definitely can see it when you look at motherfuckers like Playboy Cardi and stuff like that. Like I think there's some truth to some of this stuff. You know, especially when they're out there devil worshiping and whatnot. Which,
I think they just doing that stuff to make y'all talk about them.
None against y'all Satanists at all. But I think this will be a really interesting movie. Again, him, September 19th. I can't wait to watch.
I can't wait to watch.
Hearing about that,
yeah,
like some of those images,
yeah,
I'm like, oh yeah,
yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
Because I think it's funny that they compared it to Black Swan because I really like that movie. That was a really good ass movie.
Which one?
Black Swan.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, that was a good one. Oh yeah, this like that, but then just even more like just messed up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be good. All right, we're going.
This is still under
Universal. Yeah, it's still under Universal, but specifically under the Focus Features banner. So we're going to switch gears and talk about all the stuff under the Focus Features banners, which is under Universal. So first off, we're going to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's. So of course, you already knew that sequel was coming because that was a film. It was the biggest hit ever for Blumhouse. Now what's even more crazy, what's even more weird though, or crazy, it came out in theaters and streaming at the same time.
It did.
And it still went crazy.
It did.
Because Five Nights at Freddy's is such a big brand. But they did mention this time.
Oh, I just want to side note that Jason Blum came out on stage.
Oh, in the suit.
In a Freddy Fazbear suit. He is such a dork.
You gotta feel good.
He said
random shit like
he
that.
said, "I'm trying to save money." That was why he did it. He said, "I'm trying to save some money."
Yeah, this is the
I didn't want to pay nobody else to come out here.
I threw it on. You know what I'm saying? Good to go. But what's interesting though is for the sequel, they are not doing the dual release this time. It's gonna be exclusively
in theaters.
In theaters this time for FNAF 2. They also did a little teaser for FNAF 2, which is online.
Now.
Yeah, it is out now. I have not seen it myself, but here's a quick synopsis for it. Mike is warned by Vanessa that the animatronics are back, and this time they're on the loose and can appear anywhere in public. The footage is mostly brief, but we are importantly shown the Balloon Boy animatronic. If y'all know the games, y'all know Balloon Boy. As well as a final tease for the new shiny toy Freddy walking alone in the middle of a busy fairground amongst children and the public. FNAF 2 is coming out December 5th. I think this movie is going to go stupid crazy. It's going to make some cash. Yeah.
Mike said, Jason Blum gonna forever catch these hands.
Hey, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
We need a whole discussion about Blum and his Blumhouse.
But I'm excited for this one, man. Like I thought FNAF was all right. The first one, it was definitely more on the family friendly side, which I'm like kind of like, but I get it because kids like this movie.
You know
what I'm saying? Our son he loves some Five Nights at Freddy's stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I get why they can't go crazy, but I do think they did release like some sort of cut last time, didn't they?
No.
Was this
that was a
something
rumor,
else?
But no, what you're talking about, people did say, but they didn't actually do that.
They never did it.
No.
I would love for them to actually do that and release some sort of unrated cut, make it a little bit more graphic. But if they don't, whatever, all good, cool. I think that with the success of the first one, they're gonna go even harder with the second one. And I think it'll be a good time all around. I think it'll be a fun film. But I'm sure y'all Five Nights at Freddy's fans is going crazy and wait for the December 5th film. Mike in the chat said, "Give me Willy's Wonderland 2 instead." The movie was fun too. I did not mind that film. I thought that was a good time as well. I think that's the Nick Cage one. But all right, so the next horror film they talked about under that Focus Features banner was the Black Phone 2. So Black Phone 2 with Madeline McGraw. Is this like a log line right here?
No, this is what Madeline McGraw is the one who presented
Okay.
On behalf of the cast.
And she said this right here.
No, this was like in the trailer. And they said
Oh, in the
this in
teaser.
the
So in the
teaser
teaser for Black Phone 2, they said death isn't always the end.
and
And that it's more violent and more bloody. So now apparently the grabber is essentially got powers in the ghost realm.
Yeah.
So so the grabber's got full demonic powers now and can make children hallucinate incredibly cruel deaths. There's so this was at the thing, right? There's a striking image of the grabber ice skating towards the camera in slow motion. It appears that the grabber has a special connection with Gwen, managing to somehow get a hold of her from spinning her around in rapid succession as Finney appears to see that image in a phone booth. Without a doubt, it looks even more terrifying than the first movie, given its stronger supernatural elements. The footage had the grimy film look of Sinister. Hey, you already know. Come on now, right up here. First Sinister poster. You already know. I'm a big fan. It's one of my favorite horror movies of all time. Had the grimy film look of Sinister and boasted plenty of mean gore and violence with a supernatural twist. Coming out October 17th. This sounds really good. And if we go back when we talk about Black Phone 2, I called this because I was like, how do you make a sequel? I was like, the only way is like, dude got to do some ghost shit.
I thought they were going to do a prequel, which is what I was hoping for, to see like maybe his first time doing this or how he got into being the grabber. But yeah, they decided to go balls to the wall, all the way left, which is, I think it's good for this duo. I feel like if anyone else was doing this, it might not work. But I think Scott Derrickson and what's his name, Cargill, the one who writes with him, I think them two together can make it good.
I think they can. Yeah. But obviously, just like in the chat, Tamon mentions because Nightmare on Elm Street isn't available, and he said that it's Stranger Things meets Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, the first one, and it obviously that immediately draws the Freddy Krueger comparisons,
right? Well,
to Nightmare on Elm Street.
What's her name? Madeline's character, Gwen, right? She already had like this sixth sense type of power anyway. So now somehow she's got this extra connection with him in this. I think it'll be good. Yeah.
Because she knew where to go with the house and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this. Just like you and I both, we like supernatural elements and stuff. So the fact that that's one of the reasons why we struggle with The Woman in the Yard. We like supernatural shit. You know what I'm saying? And then you pull the rug from under us. But anyway, I'm excited to hear this got the Sinister vibe. I'm already on board for that. Because remember in the I forgot which VHS it is, but Scott Derrickson did a short in that. Obviously, that shit was straight Sinister. But I love that, like when he does that grimy, like analog weird feel to it. I love that shit. I thought the first black phone was really good, but I do feel like it wasn't scary enough,
right? And
so hearing that this
gets to be scary
is going to be even more scary and have that supernatural element, like in terms of the villainous aspect being supernatural, because obviously he was in communication with ghosts, so there was some supernatural element, but he was getting helped. Yeah. But now the villains got those abilities. Yeah. Now we're talking supernatural villainry, and I'm all on board for that shit.
Tamon said visions will be important for her. I wonder if she would get snatched up. I hope not.
Oh, she's gonna get pulled into the ghost realm.
Ooh, now that'll be crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Mike said maybe we'll get a Black Phone prequel series. Now that I'll watch. I usually don't like. If we could be like a different one each time, I'll watch it. But if it's just one long one, I don't want to watch that.
If they do it, you know what though? They could do a grabber series in the vein of the creep tapes, where each tape is like, or each episode is like a different situation where he grabs somebody.
Exactly. Like I would watch that 100%.
They could do something weird or crazy like that.
Yeah.
Sure. What else we got?
Mike said, I'm iffy, but it could be great. Oh, I wonder if he's talking about Five Nights at Freddy or Black Phone. Oh no, it was Black Phone. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it was for Black Phone. Yeah. And then Paul Draw said, "Don't know how they're going to explain the supernatural element." Yeah, I guess what they could say is like, his house was
a hot whatever you about to say. No,
if he already got all those ghosts in there, it's reason to believe that when he gets killed in his own crib, he won't go into the
maybe so arena, since that's where he was having those phone calls in the basement,
and he's so evil that becoming a spirit. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah,
they gonna figure it out.
Let it go.
They gonna figure that shit out.
Someone says psychic coma. Yep. I'm imagining how much more creepy the villain can be now. Yeah,
exactly. It could be way more creepy.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. There were some good moments in the first one. Like when dude was sitting in that chair with that mask on.
He looks super.
That's
scary.
some creepy ass imagery.
Yeah.
But I just want more of that. Be even elevated with the supernatural stuff.
Yeah. Well, y'all said a sequel we didn't ask for.
True.
I wanted a prequel,
but yeah, obviously the Nightmare on Elm Street comparisons is going crazy. Team on the chat said the same way with Nightmare on Elm Street. So
okay.
You know what though? If they could pull it off, I'm cool with this modernized take on the Freddy abilities type thing within this black phone type of world. I'm just excited to see Scott Derrickson's next film. I did like The Gorge, but it wasn't, I think, as good as I was hoping it was going to be.
You liked The Gorge?
Yeah, I thought The Gorge was okay.
You liked them in The Gorge?
Yes.
That was the best part of the movie.
That was but that's what I'm saying. When they got in The Gorge, I
was like,
oh shit, this shit has got real cool.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see Scott Derrickson back where he should be, and that's in the horror realm, doing like the full horror movies. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I do like his directing style. But I'm excited for this. October 17th.
Yep. October 17th.
Sign us up.
Megan 2.0.
Yep, next film, the sequel to Megan.
I don't know about you guys, but I didn't like Megan, so I'm not super thrilled about this. Thank you, Mike and Serial. Why is he liking everything this year? You have.
Hey,
he likes everything.
I feel like shit kind of working for me this year. I don't know why. But see, because it's like, the Gorge, right? The first half of that movie sucks for me. Because I'm like, I don't give a fuck about, I get to build a relationship. I don't give a fuck about that though. Just getting the Gorge. I want to see crazy shit. So when I saw the Gorge shit, it worked. Like it delivered for me. I was like, oh, this is an interesting concept. I like this. It looks weird. It looks creepy. I like the weird, sci-fi elements to it. I don't know. But yes. I do like more stuff. Hey, look, there's some stuff I didn't like this year. What's that movie on Hulu that we watched that was terrible?
Control Freak.
That was
We've watched like 20 movies and you only didn't like one.
But I'm saying I didn't like everything. I'm gonna
Anyways, back to Megan 2.0. Like Paul Jaw said, she's like Terminator in this movie. There's a new AI adult named Amelia who is loose and gone rogue. They reboot Megan to stop her. They make her stronger, faster, and taller.
Oh.
And so she's coming after Amelia. So basically like Terminator 2. It comes out June 27th. When they presented this, they had a bunch of people dressed as Megan doing a dance number to a Britney Spears song.
It's definitely it's funny because it's funny that Paul Draws mentioned Terminator because this is literally the Terminator scenario.
Yeah.
With Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah. First film, villain. Second film, savior. So it's funny that this is
basically the same thing.
Basically the same idea. It's like, well, how do we bring her back? Well, make her, an anti-hero type role where we can kind of root for her to just do some damage.
Yeah,
but I was like you, I'm not I wasn't a huge Megan fan. I thought it was okay. I thought some of the kills were good. I like the concept, but like it was more like comedy.
Yeah, and
like,
I'm not
like,
big on that.
It was okay.
Michael said the fact that they're leaning into the, can you put the thing on the coming up? Go up.
Oh, right here we go.
The fact that they're leaning into the ridiculousness of Megan, and this one has me excited, not going in expecting any horror.
Oh yeah, no.
I would say horror.
The horror in Megan is completely gone.
Yeah. Paul Joss said feels like Mission Impossible is Megan 2.0, like she's unstoppable.
She definitely gonna be unstoppable. That's true.
Yeah. Protecting Katie, maybe Gemma. Okay. Yeah. I don't. Are they gonna have those same people in there in this one? I don't know. I haven't even looked at the cast, honestly.
Yeah. And even when they had that first teaser, I was not vibing with that at all. Like I could tell that I wasn't.
Yeah.
Like that, the marketing wasn't targeted for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
like,
for sure.
What was it like? Oh, like this bitch is back or something like that.
It's definitely not for me.
This ain't targeted at me because this it made me less excited for the film.
Bobby said this one is going to be even more camp. I'm actually excited since it knows what type of movie it is. Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, at least it knows that the elements that people liked the first one was that camp element. So like, all right, let's just fucking go all the way in with it.
Yeah. Now, Mike, I know you mentioned Our Good Sis is back. So is Akilah Cooper also writing the script for this one as well? Like I said, I haven't even checked into this movie. Because I know she wrote the first script. Will said it reminds me of when they turned Happy Death Day 2 into a sci-fi comedy.
I still didn't watch that one because I liked the first Happy Death Day, but I don't think I ever watched the sequel though.
Okay,
that's still on my list.
Oh, Tamon said yes, all the returning cast. Mike said, "Oh no, she's not." Okay. Well, Tamon said she is. I don't.
Which one is it?
Which one is it? Oh my goodness.
Paul Draw said, "Can't see Megan transform into a giant robot spider."
Or never know, man. I
swear. Yeah, at this point, ain't no telling. They could go crazy camp with this shit.
Yep. Well, keeping with the AI, James Wan joins Jason Blum on stage at CinemaCon, and because they were presenting Soulmate, which is that erotic horror film with the AI sex bot. Jason Blum was like, "Oh, this is the true king of horror," and the whole crowd goes wild. Obviously, it's James Wan.
You gotta keep it a band. Like James Wan has created some
he's amazing,
some staple horror, modern day horror film.
And I'm not really sure about this one. Okay, because I personally didn't like Companion, but you did like Companion.
Companion was good.
Look, get a mic. So he like.
I don't care what y'all say. Companion was a good movie.
like this
about a fun movie. That was a good one.
It's an erotic horror film about an AI sex doll gone rogue and becomes a clingy girlfriend to keep her man. So this is like the opposite of Companion.
Right. Like, oh nah, like you gonna stay
with me.
You gonna keep this bot right here. I don't give a fuck what you say. See, look, Tamon chat said Companion was dope. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
Listen.
My bad,
listen. Oh, Companion.
Sorry, I keep interrupting.
We can't trust Michael.
Sorry.
Mike,
look at Mike. I'm right up on the screen.
The Exorcist believer.
Come on. No. Mike said, loved Companion. It's still my number one so far.
I cannot believe that's your number one film of the year so far, Mike. I think you're more AJ's friend now than mine because this is ridiculous.
What up, Mike? We can be best friends. Paul Draw said he hasn't seen Companion yet. Yo, check it out. I think it's a good movie.
Okay,
obviously people in the chat liked it.
For me, I personally think I might need to stop watching trailers and let you do trailer reactions, because when I watch trailers, it puts an expectation. Oh, this is what I'm gonna want from this movie.
Right. True.
And then when I go see it, it's not that. I get disappointed. Yeah. And that's how I felt about Companion. It's nothing like I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah. Yeah, jumping back to Soulmate.
Yeah, I'll say yes. The footage was a lot gorier than anything seen from Megan. And with it being an adult robot this time around, the film looks like to be taking like a wild swing at sex and relationships.
Interesting.
But yeah, it does sound kind of like Companion. Is just because it's an AI sex doll gone rogue. It's the same thing, except like you said, she's trying to keep this man versus trying to like kill him.
Right. And I'm assuming that it's going to become sentient. Yeah. To the point where it's like, like going crazy girlfriend mode type.
But I might like this one. James Wan is involved with this one. It didn't say. I'm assuming he's directing it and not just producing it.
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, we'll have to find that out.
If he brought him, if he came out on stage, I assume that he's directing it.
Well, Jason Blum was on stage. He ain't directing it. So, I mean, I don't know if it's like one of those team up things with Atomic Monster and Blumhouse, or if he's actually directing it.
It could be that.
Or not. Now, if he's directing it, I might feel differently about it.
I don't know. Well, you never watched Malignant, did you?
I have not. You didn't like that movie? A lot of people like that movie.
Wow. I put you like this.
Mike, did you like Malignant? Let's find out.
When it goes John Wick mode, that shit's cool as hell.
You always talk about John Wick.
But
now, that's a side note too. Big John Wick news came out of
hell yeah, it did.
CinemaCon.
John Wick 5, baby, let's go.
Which I thought was ridiculous because the man died at the end of 4.
You assume he died.
He dead.
He has a
obviously he did it.
He has a gravestone, but y'all don't know.
But look, he went through so much. Like, he should be tired. He should be like him trying to get to complete this final mission. Like, I would have been like, I'm done. Yeah. I'm not doing no 5.
I will say though.
Look, see, Mike like Malignant.
Oh yeah, it just didn't work for me, man. Like it's got that camp flavor to it, and sometimes like camp stuff just doesn't work for me. And I think also too because it was James Wan, kind of like what you just said, I was expecting something else, and when it went super just crazy, it just felt dumb to me. Like it just felt stupid. The action was really good though, because it became like an action horror movie, and I was like, oh, like then she popping off like this John Wick mode. Like she was going ham. You know what I'm saying? That shit was cool, but I don't know. It just it ultimately just didn't work.
Mark OSC's, by the way, I like saying your whole name, Mark. I just like the way it flows. Mark OSC said, so Megan, Amelia, and the soulmate bot walks into a bar. Michael said he's not seen any of the Wicks. AJ sat me down one Saturday. Was it a Saturday?
It was like a Saturday.
It was a Saturday.
I was like, look,
he made me watch every single one of the films.
And now admit, them shits is hard.
They are good.
Oh, come on now.
He made me watch every single one of them.
Come on. She watched all 4 of them bad boys. And they were all, because you have to admit, now it is mostly action.
Yeah.
But there is a good story throughout all the movies.
It is a really good story.
It's a good story.
Yeah. And if you watched or paid attention to any of the news that they have us, John Wick 5, they have that ballerina movie coming out.
And they have, speaking of that, in the ballerina one, John Wick is more prominent in the story than I even expected.
He is more involved in the story. Yep. And one of the characters in the series, in the film, his name's Kane, right?
Yeah, Kane.
Kane. Yes, he's going to have his own movie as well that he's actually directing.
Well, you know that shit gonna go hard.
And it's set in Hong Kong.
Yen is raw.
Yeah, it's set in Hong Kong as well. Yep. So they had a whole bunch of John Wick news, but we're off track.
The animated joint, we're way off track.
We're way off track.
Now, Soulmate, right? It comes out January. 2nd.
Go back up. Michael said something about robot movies, which I think I agree with. Scroll.
Right here.
Yes, I'm getting tired of the AI robot movies that have people freaking on their metal companions.
Yeah, because they're trying to play into the whole AI trope.
Yeah.
So like, oh, let's make an
why
AI
why
movie.
we're going to the sex bot area?
Because that's the easy option. Because they know like that's some shit that's like real life that people would do. Like,
yeah, I guess so.
Like that people would 100% buy these companions, especially given the state of society and like expectations. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I can just have a slave. Cool, sign me up. Like, and I can make this robot do exactly what I want.
Right.
If I want my food cooked this way, they don't cook this way every time. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think it's very much playing into reality.
Well, this movie is a January movie. It comes out in January.
Hey, look, you know what January means. Yeah. January it could be good or bad. It could be the dumping ground for bad horror movies. It
could be another night swim.
Yeah,
it does come out January 2nd of 2026.
Yeah, but like everybody said, it's another like AI robot thing. But here's the thing, right? A lot of times, it's almost like everybody in Hollywood might have had this idea. Let's write an AI robot movie, right? They probably started development on this like a couple years ago. So probably around the same time, everybody was thinking about AI. Probably, I'm sure other writers were like, yeah, I'm writing AI shit.
Yeah,
like, I'm gonna write me an AI shit too. You know what I'm saying? People pinned all these AI robot scripts, and now we're seeing the fruition of all that. Yeah. So now we're getting them kind of all back to back to back. We're in the AI robot, sex robot era.
That was the end of the Universal Focus Features, all that.
Now, what I will say, this is more a comment just for filming in general when it comes to these AI robot things. They're doing a lot of these AI robot horror style movies. I actually think an AI robot like drama could be an Oscar contender. Think about an AI robot movie with like an Honora flair.
What was the one where Robin Williams played the robot? Do you remember that? Oh, it was such a good movie, you guys. I forgot.
I know you're talking about, but I can't remember the name of it though.
He spent his life working for this one family, and the daughter grew up, and they ended up
somebody in the chat knows which one you're talking about. I can't remember the name of it
either. Good. Mike said AI, influencer horror, trauma monsters, and public domain is the focus this decade. I agree, absolutely. For sure. Bobby just said I'm over the AI stuff.
Yeah.
Botanical Boy. Oh, is that what it's called? I don't remember. All I know is it was so good. And then they end up at the end, they died at the same time because he wanted to die with her because he didn't want to keep living on without her.
Yeah,
it was so sweet.
Tamon said he doesn't think we've had a lot of AI.
Well, no, but I remember that. So her with Joaquin Phoenix.
That's a good movie.
That was a good movie.
That's a good movie.
That's a different one, but
he fell in love with his cell phone.
Yeah,
like Siri
the little thing. Yeah. It was a different. Had Robin Williams. He was playing the robot. But yeah, it was good. But yeah, I mean, eventually, I think they would probably have a drama. But Blumhouse also did Afraid, Tamon, which is another AI movie.
AI house thing.
That was in theaters for a little bit, but then it went to streaming. Bicentennial Man. That's it, Bobby. Yeah, Bicentennial Man.
Yep.
That was good. That was a good one. And there was another one that came out back in the day too. It was like
was
AI, like a little kid. Remember?
Which one?
It was about like a little kid.
Oh.
It was called like AI or something like that.
Artificial intelligence.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then obviously iRobot.
Well, because was that the Steven Spielberg one?
That I don't know.
I think so.
All right. Anyway,
we're way up topic. All right, y'all. So that was the Universal panel. Obviously, that was a huge panel because they also included focus features.
Yeah. But now this one they didn't really have like horror. This is as close to horror as it got. But go ahead.
Okay. So we had Amazon MGM who had a presentation there. This is the first time at CinemaCon.
Yeah. Which I guess because they're usually streaming. It's not really like a theatrical.
Right, and they've recently they're more newer studios building up their catalog. They've done a lot of stuff, but they promised to deliver 15 feature films a year to theaters by 2027. They were quoted saying, "It's still early days for us, and we have a ton of work to do. We're building a bold and diverse slate with theatrical in mind. Whether we're tapping into beloved IP or launching original concepts, our goal is the same: to deliver unforgettable 4-quadrant experiences that deserve the theatrical moment." Of all the films presented, they presented 8 projects. Only one is in the vein of horror, and that is Mercy, coming out January 23rd, 2026. It's directed by, how you say this name? Timur Bekmambetov. Written by Marco Van Beye. I'm probably tearing that all up.
Good try.
But anyway, the synopsis for this, it's a sci-fi thriller in which a detective played by Chris Pratt is accused of murdering his wife. We see him strapped to a chair in an empty room and given a 90-minute time limit with an AI program, which is portrayed by Rebecca Ferguson. It's a fusion of a traditional narrative with a desktop perspective, as most of the film's action and information is shared through the program's user interface. Interesting.
Yeah. I guess they're trying to figure out. I think also they said that a lot of the stuff they get is through his sons. Like the stuff that they're getting through the program is through what they get from his son. I don't know. It seemed really interesting.
Yeah.
Another like AI type of concept, but they're using it to basically
determine the truth,
right, of what happened. Kind of like iRobot.
It's kind of like iRobot. I was thinking about the storyline isn't the same, but immediately on my mind when I'm thinking about like sci-fi, tech, thriller, murder, Minority Report with Tom Cruise. I think that's a Steven Spielberg movie.
Oh, I don't know that one.
You remember that one? Oh, Minority Report is a fire movie, but that also has a situation where like he's framed for a murder, and it's like a more like sci-fi futuristic type of world. But I ain't gonna go into it, but it's a good movie. But for some reason that popped into my head.
Okay.
It's not even the same thing, but still.
Mike said Chris Pratt. I'll sit this one out.
Yeah, Mike in the chat said Chris Pratt. I'm out on this one. I can kind of feel you on that. I think it depends on like how he's acting in this. You know what I'm saying? Like, hopefully it's like all the way serious at all times and not trying to do like the comedy element to it. Point. I like the concept though. Again, it is an AI program thing, but the fusion of traditional narrative with desktop perspective. You know, I'm a big fan of the desktop perspective stuff. You know, we're about to go to Overlook in a couple of days now. Overlook's already happening. We're getting there a little bit late. But one of the films we're watching is what's it called? Life Hack. And I think that's like a desktop view. I like those kind of movies. So
Mike does too, don't you, Mike? I thought you did.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that fusion concept. But I got to see a trailer to see.
Speaking of narratives, now this is completely off topic. It's nothing to do with CinemaCon whatsoever. But they have another Hell House LLC movie coming out, right? And it's not found footage. It's like done in like a narrative.
Now that it's straight
a narrative style.
Cinematic.
And I'm like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, I just thought about that when you were talking about the traditional narrative. But that's what they're doing with that film. So kind of like,
it is possible.
It might be good.
It's possible he went traditional, cinema viewpoint route with the new Hell House to show like, oh, I can do more than just found footage. I don't know why.
Well, he have another movie come out. He got a movie coming out tomorrow on Shudder called 825 something like that, and that's a basic narrative thing too, I think.
I don't know why you'd wait to the final film of the franchise to not do found footage when the whole franchise has been found footage, but maybe he felt
Mike said, I'm so mad about that.
It's weird. Your whole franchise is found footage. It was built on this. People love it for this. Be like, nah, fuck that. I gotta switch it up for the finale. You know what I'm saying? Weird.
Okay, sorry, y'all. I went off. But yeah, that was everything horror that's been announced at CinemaCon. They had a Paramount panel this morning, but obviously there was no horror in that. And then they had a Disney one earlier today, but obviously there's no horror in that either. And I think those are all the major studio presentations. So, Bobby mentioned it's in theaters too. Which one are you talking about?
I was thinking about this one, the Mercy movie.
Oh wait, unless he's talking about Hell House.
Oh, Hell House.
Hell House will be in theaters. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
It will not be on Shudder first. It's not a big gap of time though. I think they're gonna. It's like a few weeks earlier or something like that. I didn't see that, Taymon, unless I just didn't. No, I didn't see that. But what did they say? Let me know, or maybe because I don't care about Scream 7.
Mike in the chat said, "All right, y'all, I got to run to the theater to see Hell of a Summer.
Enjoy.
We're looking forward to seeing that one too. Let us know how it is. Sending y'all love and have a safe trip to Overlook. I appreciate that.
Yes, Hell House will be in theaters though, Bobby. That's correct.
Yeah, have a good one, Mike. But yeah, Scream 7. I guess we missed that one. I don't know if Taymon, did they announce like anything new? Well, I know Taymon knows the whole damn script.
He do.
So I don't know. He might not be able to be able to say specifically what they might have talked about in the presentation. They showed the logo in the cast.
Okay. Okay, I got you. I honestly, Taymon, just didn't see it. I swear, it wasn't me being biased. I honestly didn't see anything. I swear
that bias. She saw screaming. Just that's like that shit wasn't even there. Like she had a filter on her glasses.
Yeah, I swear. All right, let's see. Now I did see that they did talk about Predator Badlands. Who is that under?
Oh, that's right, because Disney has 20th Century Fox.
Okay, I forgot about
shit. This. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, that started like right before we got up here. So,
yeah,
the official date, because there was rumors of changing the date. Okay. So Predator Badlands looks fucking sick. Someone said, okay, this person right here, I follow him a lot because I think he produces like unbiased views. His name is Andrew J. Salazar. He runs the Discussing Films Twitter account. So I do follow him a lot, and he's currently at CinemaCon. So I'm reading his tweet right now. He says Predator Badlands asks, what if the Predator is the good guy?
Yeah, remember that.
It looks effing sick. So in Badlands, a young Yucha is outcast from his clan and then takes on the ultimate hunt with the help of Elle Fanning's human cybernetic character, who is the audience surrogate, as the Predators obviously don't speak English. And it says it does in a first in the franchise in that we actually see the Yaksha hunt alien beasts and other foes on wildly bizarre planets. The main Yaksha, I'm sure I'm not saying that right, Yaksha is Yautja, is seen taking on a giant ass kaiju beast all by himself. Lots of new tech on display. It looks effing awesome.
That's cool.
So yeah, that sounds really cool. Oh, Disney closed out with Avatar. I'm so excited for Avatar.
Like the Fire and Ash movie?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
They got a very brief glimpse at the new Yashka from Badlands without its helmet, and it looks much closer to the classic design with the darker skin tone and the classic braids and tendrils.
Oh, that's dope.
So that's gonna be super cool.
Yep, because Predator got them dreads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Let me
for
see
that.
if I can find
and
it.
again, y'all, that Predator news came out of the Disney 20th century presentation, which is kind of going right as we started our live stream here. But I'm excited for that Predator Badlands. I'm always up for more action with the Predator. I think the Predator is an iconic, dope ass character that they can do a lot with. So being able to follow the Predator as it's just whooping ass the whole movie, I'm all about
yeah,
it. I'm all about it.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be super cool. Like seeing him in his actual element. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I think that's gonna be dope. Yeah. I always like the Predator better than the
Alien. Then they said Kaiju Beast. Interesting. Mm-hmm. That sounds crazy. But it sounds promising though.
Yeah. I still don't see nothing
else like horror related.
Well,
that 20th century. Mm-mm. Okay, yeah, I figured their main thing was going to be Predator Badlands, which I forgot about being under that banner. Paul Draws in the chat said skeptical on How to Train Your Dragon remake. I heard they are making a sequel, so I'm concerned if they will go the Disney method and copy the original. If they go completely different.
I hate to tell you, but it's like, according to
the
same dude,
right?
it's a play by play of the original movie.
Yeah.
But they did say it looks really good. And like the main characters are acting really, really good as well. They like the way the creature designs look as well. Like all that stuff looks amazing. So I think at least it's going to be amazing to watch.
Yeah.
If nothing else, and obviously the actors do a really good job. So I'm still looking forward to watching that. I did How to Train Your Dragon, but I do. That's what they actually premiered the entire film. They got to see the whole movie.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Yeah, and
that's right. I forgot about that.
They did say that it's basically like
it is
a beat by beat of the film. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it did get good feedback. Correct, Timon.
The trailers made it feel really epic. So I thought the trailers for that film looked pretty good for that How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah. But anyways, let me know, Tamon, later on what you find out about Scream, because I swear I don't see anything.
He just said logo in the cast and the date.
Okay.
Tamon, I don't know if you got the date for Scream 7. You could drop into the chat. Because I don't think we saw it when we were just looking online.
But that was all the horror stuff. Speaking of How to Train Your Dragon, Paul Jaws, they got the Epic Universe opening soon.
Hell yeah,
and I saw some of the the things that they put out, like people that be outside walking around, like in the suit and stuff. It looks really cool.
Timon said for Scream 7, the theatrical date is February 26, 2026.
Nice.
Hey, that's his birthday weekend too. So he says he's getting ready.
I know you're gonna be hyped for that.
A Scream-filled birthday weekend.
Yeah.
But back to what you're saying. Yeah, Epic Universe.
It looks amazing.
How to Train Your Dragon area looks dope. Of course,
classic monsters.
They have the Dark Universe, the Epic Universe, which I heard that Monsters Unchained ride, which features all the Universal monsters on the roller coaster, I heard that's one of the best presentations and roller coaster experiences ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for if we ever get to go to that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But yeah, that's it, y'all, for the.
And Mark said y'all should do this annually.
Oh, we might do that.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Fun. Yeah, this is our first time trying this with CinemaCon. We've always followed CinemaCon.
AJ has.
Well, okay, yeah, I have. I was even telling her, I was like, damn, I wonder if we can go one of these years. It's expensive as fuck.
Super expensive.
It's stupid expensive. But I was like, man, you know how cool that would be?
Yeah.
To sit and see all this stuff that, just doesn't get shown online, except for sometimes to get all that exclusive footage and whatnot. I think that would be a fun experience.
You have to save up for that.
That'd be a one time for the one time. And it's in Vegas.
Yeah. Oh, that's
you make a vacation out of that. You know what I mean?
I agree. The Predator movies do sound good.
Yeah. Paul Draw said the new Predator movie sounds good. And Michael said, because we were talking about Epic Universe, cannot wait for Dark Universe.
Yeah,
Dark Universe. I'm telling y'all. I don't know if y'all saw the reviews for that Monsters Unchained ride.
Yeah.
People were going crazy. Yeah. They were
people who have
it's the most advanced shit they've ever seen.
The best thing they've ever seen. Out knocks Disney stuff out of the water.
Yeah,
completely.
go ahead, man.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, if y'all go online to the Universal Orlando like YouTube channel, they have like a preview that they released months ago about the Dark Universe animatronics. Look at those animatronics.
They look real.
They
honestly.
look real. Like, it looks amazing.
It's ridiculous.
Frankenstein, Dracula, Swamp Thing,
the
werewolf. Like, they
with the
look
Wolfman.
the Frankenstein, like the movements and everything. Like,
they look
I was
like real.
Damn,
it's crazy.
But y'all, the reviews are saying like this shit blows Disney out of the water. Like, they're saying this is the best like presentation and ride for something that they've ever seen. From even like the queue line, walking to get on the ride was like a whole story to it and incredible. So we're excited for that. We probably won't be able to go because it's expensive right now for Epic Universe. Is just opening this year, so it's all good.
Yeah, maybe next year. But all right, y'all.
But yeah, hey,
we're supposed to be streaming the game, but
because that South of Midnight game came out. We were going to try to stream that tonight. I don't know if we'll be able to, but maybe even if we get in like an hour, we're going to try to do that. If not, maybe we could do some tomorrow for a small window of time. Yeah. But hey, look, this is super dope. Shout out to everyone that came through in the chat and contributed to the conversation.
Thank y'all so much for watching.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all, man. It was super dope. We would like to do more lives. It's always hard with anything in life, right? To just try to figure out the right time and stuff. But I'm glad we was able to do this, talk about all the horror movies and horror news that was at CinemaCon, because there was a lot. And we appreciate y'all just like adding to the conversation, just making it an even better stream than it could have been. Mark mentioned maybe doing this annually, so maybe we'll try to do this for 2026.
Sounds good.
I think that'll be a lot of fun.
I'll see y'all back here again next year.
Yeah, see y'all back here next year. But hey, look, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Even if you're watching it on the replay or listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, thank y'all so much. Hey, look, as a reminder, we're going to Overlook this weekend, right?
We leave tomorrow.
We're checking out a lot of dope films there. We're going to do like some reactions, some reviews, and just try to vlog a little bit of what we're doing there too. So make sure you're subscribed and following and tuned in for those reviews of those upcoming horror films. And then, of course, as always, just subscribe to the channel to see other reviews and reactions on all the good stuff. We love y'all and appreciate y'all so much. Shout out to everybody.
Good night.
Yeah, good night.
Mike.
Good night, Tamon, Michael, everybody. Paul Draws, Mark.
Mike for stopping in earlier. Jerica, she put a note earlier too. If you're watching the replay, thank you so much.
Yeah, and
Bobby.
I'm gonna mess his name up. It was Utana or whatever. I'm part tearing your name up. Nadia. Everybody that came through.
Nerd Soul.
Yeah, Nerd Soul. Utaka. Everybody came through. That was super dope. Appreciate y'all stopping by. And look, listen on the VOD. Make sure y'all tune in and subscribe to our channels. We announce our lives, and you can be able to contribute to the conversation. But good night, everybody. We love y'all. We'll see you on the next one. We are out. Peace.